through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sactown Sports. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
These discussions in his previous work life, but why would Banana Tom be an option?
I don't know.
I mean, it does fit Tom perfectly.
Yes.
The choices were either Commander or Banana.
He is more of a Banana Tom than a
100%.
Commander Tom.
Can we call him Banana Tom from here on out?
I think that's a thing.
Yeah.
Banana Tom.
He
You're
made-
wearing the shirt for it.
Yeah.
Well,
He made an awful decision.
say going with Commander instead of Banana.
No, to let you know about this.
Oh, terrible decision. Because that's going to live forever.
Yeah. And Chris will never do anything with it.
Never. Hey, everybody, it's Banana Tom. Live. Remember Commander Bill?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is Commander? Probably not. I can't imagine Commander Bill's still with us, is he? All I remember is when I was a kid, Commander Bill worked for KFBK. He used to like fly the helicopter around, right, and do traffic reports. Which does anybody do that anymore? Like fly around in a helicopter and do traffic reports, or they used to look at Google Maps and save a bunch of
Pretty
money.
much.
Yeah.
Ways. They're like, yeah, it's busy.
Is there even a helicopter? Does Channel 3 still have like Live Copter 3?
I think they put it all on Doppler.
Michelle Doppler.
Yes.
That's a great question. I need to research this. Like, do any of the news stations have helicopters anymore? And by the way, how hard would it be to get Sactown Sports 1140 copter?
Yeah. And what would we do?
KHT copter.
What would its job be?
We would roll around into neighborhoods and drop free turkeys for people.
Okay.
Frozen.
Yeah. Exactly. Go over parks, see if people are playing games.
Yes. Drop like King swag.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be great.
Rolling Stones tickets, Jiffy Lube.
Jiffy Lube gift certificates.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Crumble cookies.
Crumble cookie. Oh, just dropping boxes of crumble cookies.
Yeah.
Brought to you by the KHTK copter.
Yep.
KHTK copter. Yeah, that's a tough one. Just make it all different colors. You know, the station colors. Until we change our branding again next year. And then just redo it, new paint.
Yeah, that's when we change the landscape.
If we got KCRA's old Live Copter 3 and our boss recommissioned it for us, would any of us ever get in it voluntarily?
Absolutely not.
I 100% agree with you.
If we got that exact scenario,
Yeah.
and one of us from the staff was asked to train to be the station pilot, who does the best?
Well, when I first met Whitey in 7th grade,
He was already flying a helicopter?
no, but he already had those like big giant old man glasses on. Like he's either since gotten his eyes done or I think he wears like pretty strong contacts, but I don't trust his eyesight. So why?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say I could picture him in like aviators, and he.
No, I mean these are those big they weren't just like regular glasses. They were like my dad wears glasses. Jason, I don't know that I wouldn't vote for you, to be honest. If you're fine, you're physically fine, you're intelligent, your eyesight's fine.
How about if I'm scared?
Yeah, no, I don't.
It's not a good.
I'm never getting in a helicopter. I never
What if
have.
Frankie
and I never
did
will.
it? I feel like Frankie could.
Yeah,
handle it.
until he crashes this because he got distracted by the box of pizza. Chris Watt?
Simone.
No.
You know who it is?
Who?
Brendan Nunez.
Oh
Might be
yeah.
Brendan.
Yeah.
It's not a meal.
No.
Yeah,
He'd take us to Seattle.
exactly.
But the big question was, you have to choose between two people. Your life depends on getting in this helicopter and them being the pilot. Nate or Kyle?
Kyle.
Really?
Oof.
Nate crashed on foot.
But he didn't do the crashing.
But can't you also see like Kyle, like, okay, did you ever see the movie Private Parts with Howard Stern?
Yes.
Remember when he was young and he was the young DJ and he went and like put a tape in a thing and all the records crashed and he freaked out.
Yeah.
Like I feel like Kyle would be the guy that would be fine until one thing goes wrong. And then he would just freak out and like go to a safe space or something while we crash.
But the interior of the helicopter would be so beautiful. Very colorful.
It would look like a rainbow farted
Skittles.
throughout the whole. That's a great question because then Nate also, there's a flip of a coin that they'd be like, I just don't feel like life today. Crash.
Yeah.
You hear Chris literally laughing through the soundproof glass. I think we should get a helicopter. And I think if we did have a helicopter, we would have been out at Golden One Center last night after the game, dropping, I don't know what, eye masks for people to be able to cover their eyes.
I have a question on this game for you.
Uh-huh.
Did you trade a win for that game?
You like, am I okay because we won against the Warriors?
I thought you even kind of threw that question out there.
Yeah, and I even said I would happily and I still feel that way. Like if you told me
Happily.
well,
You said happily. Those were your exact words, I believe.
yeah,
I would happily trade a Warriors win, Clippers loss for a Warriors win.
Yeah.
So you're good.
You
got that.
I'm pretty good. No, I'm pretty good.
It was happily.
Look, I didn't want them to lose. I don't have a problem with they get at there's a bit of a free pass here in the sense that if you'd have told me in order to beat the Warriors, the Kings had to lose by 91 at home, I'd have been like, okay, happily.
So
give me that trade.
I need to understand your stuff. And by your stuff, I mean you're the jinxie guy. I can't say that. I'm gonna pick the Kings to lose by 90, but didn't that just kind of fall in line of you said the thing and the thing happened?
And the thing happened.
But does that not feel like jinxie? Because there was a positive in there too?
But if you give me discredit for no, there's rules here.
You want dis or dat credit?
If I get the blame for jinxing last night's loss,
You get the credit?
I have to get the credit for the Warriors win, and I'll wear that. I'll wear that.
So you'll happily take that.
I will happily take the result.
Okay.
I'm not happy about the process of the result.
You've got to trust it.
Commander Bill passed away in May 13th of 2021. He the ripe old age of 91 years old.
Good life for
Commander Bill. And I remember this is probably how you shouldn't remember Commander Bill, but my parents always had it. My dad always had it on KFBK growing up. And I remember the story. I don't know how young I was, man. I was a kid. And so Commander Bill would fly the helicopter around, right? He would pilot it and then he'd be like, I split. And I didn't know what the WX was till I was 35. I had no idea.
I didn't know until very recently.
Right. I don't know.
Letters of the alphabet.
Yeah. That's what it's a WX. I didn't know. Oh, it's W and X. Oh, okay. Well, and he'd do his reports and all that. This dude had a heart attack in the helicopter. You didn't hear
What?
No, Commander Bill had a helicopter. Had a heart attack in the helicopter while he was out doing a report, and there's nobody else in the helicopter.
And he landed it?
Yeah, and he landed it and I mean, I want to say it's fine. I don't know what the but obviously went on. This was like when I was a kid and went on to live until 2021.
That's why he wasn't Banana Bill.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Commander Bill.
Yeah.
He took control.
Yeah.
Did he go back to flying?
Yes. Oh, you know why I couldn't find him? Because I put Commander Bill KHTK.
I hope that. So one of my favorite helicopter news stories was right when I started the
OJ.
No, well, besides that one, right when I started the station. So I'm guessing were there dual people at that time, or was it just Commander Bill?
You're talking about
did Channel 13 and 10 at that time have
their own helicopters?
Just,
no, there were a few. No, they all had helicopters.
Okay. So I'm not certain then who it was, but I remember this very, very well. So it was right when I started the station, and there was I think we even went to breaking news. There was some sort of truck high-speed chase that had worked its way from Modesto, and it was up through Sacramento. It was about near the airport when they had done the tire strips or what, the nails or tacks or whatever they do. Truck tires rip. They finally got him stopped. So this is all the helicopter view we see. He gets out of the truck on the passenger side, hops this fence, and what you see, and whoever's describing is oh no, he's gone over the fence. He's into the trees. And so the shot you see is nothing but tree line. And I remember seeing it. This is all we can see. I go, oh, he's gone. Good luck finding this guy.
Yeah.
They pan out. There was 2 trees. I mean, nothing but open field. And you're it was such a great pan out. Because you're there's 1,000. He's gone. They're never going to catch this guy. And there were 2 trees in an open field.
And he's behind one of them with his hands over his own eyes, can't see me.
He's over here.
Over here. Over here.
I don't know if that was Commander Bill, but in my mind, I want it to be.
I think, you know what? I think it was Commander Bill. Kitty O'Neill, who worked with him for a long time, wrote in his, it's not an obituary, but in the story about him passing, that he had suffered a prior heart attack while on the job and still managed to land his plane and put it in the airport's hangar despite the episode. And then, that it doesn't say the year, unfortunately, but woof, man. Can you imagine that?
We go down to Tom now and say, I know Commander Bill. You, sir,
you're no Commander Bill.
Yes.
Look at you.
Who is it?
He said it to Dan Quayle and the Lloyd Benson.
Yes.
Lloyd Benson.
Yes.
Who had a Commander Bill and Lloyd Benson drop? Did we just clap off the clapper?
Yes. And again.
Okay, just if you're watching on YouTube, which you probably aren't anymore, we just had all our power go out, come back on with everywhere. Oh wow, everywhere.
I think so.
Now, we have a generator, right?
You know what I think happened?
Huh.
I think Nate landed the copter on the transponder.
By the way, we are not on YouTube anymore. So, our TVs are bad. This is great. We are completely in the dark right now, except for one spotlight in Chris's room, or his lights are on. Our TVs and our computer monitors are on, but our lights in here are not on. Which really? I wonder if, I think Chris is coming in to switch them on. There we go. Yeah, they have to be. Oh, golly, that's not a great
mustard.
Yeah, are we dead? Is this heaven? No,
this is definitely not heaven.
It's one. No, it's how.
Pardon my French.
Right. Okay, well, this was look at our angles now in the YouTube. I wonder, did that kill the whole chat?
Moving.
So they could still hear us, but they couldn't see us. Okay, well, that's interesting.
We stopped talking about Commander Bill.
Wow. Shouts.
Yes.
Commander Bill. That was Commander Bill checking in.
Yeah.
Doing a report right there for us.
I'll show these guys.
Commander Bill, Lloyd Benson, Commander Bill, Sacramento legend.
Yeah.
We'll take a break. We take a break. Are we good? Or are we rebooting? Okay. When we come back.
Are we even on?
Leading off, we think, right here on Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee, structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
Let's do it. Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
All right, seems like we're recovering here from the power outage. The country's down the hall. They had the power outage too. I was telling Banana Tom about Commander Tom and the Commander Bill stories, and then the power went out, which I'm choosing to believe that our power went out as kind of a salute from Sacramento radio legend Commander Bill.
Little homage.
Little home and thank you.
Homage.
The amount of people I'm hearing saying homage. Snoop Dogg even wrapped it in a lyric on Dr. Dre's album. He said, better pay homage.
Well, if Snoop said it.
Is that one of those words where you read it more than you
say it?
100%. Biopic and biopic?
Yeah. And it's biopic, but it does look like biopic or biopic. Yeah.
Biopic, right?
I had a friend who there's those things. Yeah, it's biopic. Who used to read, like a lot, but like when you read stuff and you don't say it out loud, you don't know. And so she like, this was in my 20s. She's my girlfriend's best friend, Sarah, and she called me a dumbass. And I went, wait, what is that? And she goes, you're a dumbass. And I go, what is it? Spell that for me. Dumbass. I go, that's a dumbass. And she goes, no, it's one word. I'll find it in a book. And she finds it in a book that she was reading, and she's trying to convince me that it's actually dumb bass. And I had to explain to her, no, it's D-U-M-B for dumb. Ass, that's squished together.
Yeah.
And I had to get like 10 people to back me up before again, let's be honest, look who I'm arguing with, not going to just sit there and take the loss. Dumb bass. Hey, here's cut number 1.
Nearing the midpoint of the court, pass goes to Zubac, kicks it out. Kawhi's uncovered for 3 and drills it. He has got himself a 30-point ball game with that 3 right there. That is the 3rd time this season Kawhi has gone for 30 or more.
He missed his first 3 shots.
Yeah.
Kawhi did.
Yeah.
He made 14 of his next 15.
That is a heck of a stat. Good.
Yeah.
Kawhi. Shout out Jody Bacon.
Yeah.
So I'm not I'm going to be very clear. I even was tweeting it last night. Like, I'm not mad.
Yeah.
I'm not letting last night yuck my yum from the night before.
Okay.
Would gladly trade the win for the loss. So I it's like I'm not fine with the loss. Of course, you want to win every game, but like I'm as fine as I'm ever going to be with let's be honest, pretty much wire-to-wire blowout loss to an under 500 team. No. What I'm incredibly upset with, all the lights just came on. I'm upset with the fact that everyone but De'Aaron Fox pretty much last night was just a bunch of punks. They just didn't show up.
Right.
And if anybody on the team has an excuse to not show up, it's De'Aaron Fox, who is still playing through a bit of ankle pain, who is your MVP candidate along with Sabonis, who is your team leader. He showed up in every way last night. And it's the rest of the team that took the night off with, Sasha Vezenkov was fine. There's a couple of exceptions.
Little spurts.
Yeah.
But, part of the reason why the Clippers won, 3 of their best players were really good.
Yeah.
The Kings' 2 best players, 1 was very good.
One was very good.
And so, can Sabonis have an off night? Sure.
Yeah, he's had 2 off
but
nights.
But 2 in a row. And I think it's how you look when you do it. Like, it wasn't just missing. He was a non-factor. And Dave, we've had nights where, Sabonis scored 11, but had 14 assists.
Yep.
He wasn't a facilitator. He wasn't a presence. To me, the matchup you're going to win is Sabonis versus Zubac.
100%.
And you didn't win that. That's a problem.
11 points, 5 boards, 3 assists in 31 minutes on 3 of 12 shooting. By the way, 2 of his 3 makes were 3-pointers.
That's it. He made 3 shots.
Yeah.
1 in the paint. That can't happen. 2 threes, you'll take that. That's good for him.
He was thoroughly outplayed by Ivica Zubac, who was 7 of 12, 14, 8, and 3.
Well, his response game will be the Joker.
I don't know how to quantify this because you never want to stereotype or generalize. It's where you get in trouble. Why is it that I feel like Domantas Sabonis pretty much gets owned by European centers? I feel like them and Kevon Looney are his biggest struggles. Jonas Valanciunas, those are massive battles. I don't feel like this is far from the first time Ivica Zubac has gotten to him, and I need to do more research on that. But it's is it? I don't know, man. Is it a style of play? Is it? Do they all get hyped up for it? I don't know if there's a connection, or even if there is a connection. But Ivica Zubac should never, ever outplay Domantas Sabonis.
Yeah, I was trying to think that too about the Joker, who's going to outplay everybody. But I think actually his stats are, but I, again, would need to do more research. But it's not like he stops the Joker. That guy goes off. So.
No, but I feel like Sabonis holds his own. We'll find out Saturday.
But you don't want to hold your own with Zubac. You want to win that matchup.
You have to win that
and
matchup.
Valanciunas, to be honest. You need to win that matchup.
Yes, you do. And I feel like Valanciunas, every single time, that is a massive battle.
Well, here's your theory tested. Zubac last night, Joker Saturday, Valanciunas
Monday. So and by the way, his nemesis is
and Looney was before that,
right? So this is not. But you know what? I absolutely all summer long, Sabonis was getting crap, and I, along with a lot of other people, were out there defending him, and I still will. This isn't. Let's let the romance is over. I love Domantas Sabonis, and where Sabonis and Fox take us is where this team's going to go.
Yeah.
But bro, it's okay.
Are you now saying the Pacers won the trade?
I had Here's the thing. You ever run into a friend and they've lost a lot of weight, and you know that line between "Wow, you look really good" and "Oh God, are you okay?"
Yeah, something you want to tell me?
Are you sick?
Right.
So with Sabonis, it's right up at the line where I'm like, is there something wrong with you? Is it, no, I'm serious. Obviously not, the other comparison here. No, but is he injured?
Right.
I'm almost at the, 1 or 2 more games of this. And I'm going to start going, is there an injury going on or something going on because this is just such a weird drop off for him. And 2 games, everyone has a slump.
Yeah.
But now, if you
something to watch,
yes, that is now officially on the radar because he didn't show up last night. I mean, Harrison Barnes didn't show up last night, but that's a coin flip if he's going to show up half the time.
Not as critical to the team's success. You want him to show up and be a factor, but yeah.
Herder didn't show up. Duarte, that experiment's starting to bother me a little bit. I like Chris Duarte. I like what he brings, but also we really need Keegan Murray back.
Yeah.
Chris Duarte is not a starter. Malik Monk had 15 points, but it just felt like everyone was like, we won last night. Again, I'm not going to get upset. I'm not letting last night's loss screw me out of the happiness from the Warriors win. I said I'd trade it. I'll happily. It's fine. But boy, I would have liked for them to at least be professionals and show up and play basketball. And what you saw last night was honestly kind of an insult to the fans.
The guy behind you, he's behind you, did it.
That guy showed up.
Yep.
That guy showed up.
Always does.
What are these, by the way? I mean, I know what they are, but where do they come from?
That's your starting five.
For just for the radio purposes. Yeah, we have like little cardboard cutouts of the starting five of this team with the Sactown Sports logos. What were these used for?
Not sure.
Okay, they just showed the starting five.
Maybe on the other side there's like a ace of spades, like they're a deck of cards.
I love these. I love this as a background. Is that weird? Yeah, go grab one. By the way, cut. Yeah, I guess we should get to other stuff here. Cut number 2, please.
Cut number 2.
Third down and a short 2. Snap to Prescott. Great protection. Throwing it in the right corner of the end zone. Lamb, bobble, caught, touchdown. There's your turducken.
There's your turducken.
Oh, he's going to sneeze. But he's not going to sneeze. Tonight, Thursday Night Football, Cowboys, Seahawks.
Yes.
Ooh, something to watch tonight.
I think I made it. Yeah, Cowboys, Seahawks. The Seahawks lose. The Niners don't clinch if they lose, do they? But, like, we're kind of close.
I'm getting there.
And then can the Cowboys beat a team that isn't horrible?
Yeah.
That's kind of
questions I want to know.
Why are you holding your person backwards?
Because you are.
Oh, he didn't show up.
But now he's here.
I don't understand why nobody decided to play last night. Where are all my friends?
I put out a lot of energy the night before.
I put out a lot of energy the night before, too, but I still showed up, and I have a new baby, too.
Good point, Darren.
Shut up, Tomas.
Hey, we don't talk like that around here.
We talk everywhere when you show up.
We're a team. Hey, we're going to Vegas, though.
Yeah, we are. That's pretty cool. Hopefully you show up for the plane.
Well, your voice sounds different.
It's the only De'Aaron Fox voice.
That was absolutely insane.
Take a break. We're idiots. When we come back, Kings clips. We've got audio for you.
We do.
Yep. And lowlights coming up right after this.
Can Mike Brown build on last season's Coach of the Year award? Can the Kings exceed 48 wins?
We will be better prepared to make the run that we expect to run come next playoff.
Tune in to every Kings game this season on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Arnold Law Firm. I'm Dirk Fedorn in the KCRA 3 Weather Center, and a mix of clouds expected through the day today. Temperatures will be warming into the lower 60s and the chance for some scattered showers in the morning and then again late in the afternoon. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down in a heartbeat. So remember to be a little more alert on the road and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-330-2929. That's 800-330-2929. 800-330-2929.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
Winter is coming. I know you know that, but are you prepared to keep your family warm all season long? At American Energy Heating and Air, their goal is to exceed your expectations of the heating and air industry by valuing the customer experience and making your home comfort system as efficient as possible for the most value. So book your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. Prevent dangerous gas leaks. Extend the life of that furnace and save on your energy bills. And here's the guarantee. This isn't a sales call. They're not getting in the door so they can try to sell you a bunch of stuff. No, they're just going to do what they say they're going to do. Call today to schedule an appointment at 916-520-9990 or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com. been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Get your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. 916-520-9990. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Looking for the best deal on a new 2023 Ram 1500 Laramie Crew Cab 4x4? During the Black Friday sales event, Knight Elk Grove Dodge has it. $16,500 off MSRP. Plus get no payments for 90 days. Save well over $16,000. Only at Knight Elk Grove Dodge in the Elk Grove Auto Mall and online at elkgrovecdjr.com. MSRP $67,995. Net price $50,997 under $6,700 dealer discount and $10,199 in rebates. Buy at this price. Simple NPN 598835. Cancel over 3023.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
Pat Green and Diamond Rio live in concert Saturday, December 9th, 7 p.m. The venue at Thunder Valley. Country music icons Pat Green and Diamond Rio with special guest Mark Wills. On sale now at ThunderValleyResort.com. Pat Green and Diamond Rio.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sactown Sports.
Screen from Tice. Here's the launch by Harden. Great defense from the Kings. Davion Mitchell results in an air ball. Here's a blow by Duarte. Going right into traffic. Draws the foul. Shot bounces. Hangs and falls in. 6 points for Duarte. And the Kings are back within 4. And it'll be an and one opportunity for Chris Duarte. Returns out to the air and uncovered for the triple. Front rim and short. Offensive rebound. Barnes out to Monk. He hits the three-pointer. And it's a 13-point separation after trailing by 25. 7 unanswered for Sacramento. And
I was trying to play it. Here's one.
There's a little pop-up, Jay, that's good for Fox, and it gives him a 40-point ball game.
All right, final call.
Jordan Ford puts it in play. Colby Jones has it, and that will do it. So on the second night of the back-to-back, the Kings unable to muster any true momentum, trailed by as many as 25 against the Clips. They end up losing by 14. 131-117 is the final score, and the Kings will start thinking about Denver in this building as their next mission on Saturday night.
The thing that I did have creep into my head last night is I always use this example. You know, I've used this before. It is the most random example, even for me. But I've used it before. Like, so the NFL's opening day is always like Thursday. There's the matchup of the two teams.
Yeah.
And there was, I don't know, maybe it was like 10, 15 years ago, I remember the matchup was the Steelers and the Titans, who were both expected to do really, really well. Like, this was a matchup a lot of people were looking for to kick off the season, and the NFL always does that. So Steelers and Titans play, and it was like a really good game. And, you know, at the end, the announcers, rightfully so, were saying, this could be a rematch of the AFC Championship. You saw a lot of high level. This was great. Two teams really, ugly at times, but that's because they're, they both ended up sucking.
Yeah.
But that year, they were both not great, especially, I think, the Titans. But in a vacuum, it looked like two really good teams playing good football. So what last night did, compounded with the night before, is it let the little bit of doubt creep in where it was like, okay, the Kings did beat the Warriors. But that was in kind of a vacuum because the Warriors are now 8-10.
Mm-hmm.
The Warriors have lost 8 of 10. And the Warriors were up 24 points on the Kings. And by all intents and purposes, probably should have won that game that night. You know, you could make the argument. I mean, Kings won fair and square. But So you have like the Minnesota Kings in that game. But then you have like the New Orleans Golden State Kings. I think Houston.
Yeah,
Clippers.
Actually, there's I forgot the stat last night, but there's a decent amount of losses now, Dave, that are by significant amount of, like, they've been blown out.
It was either Frankie or Brendan put out, I think it's an average of 15.7 points per loss. It's like, I mean, on one hand, it's like, well, if you're going to lose.
Yeah.
You know, get out of the way.
That's a little concerning.
It is 7 losses on the year, 10-7. You know, the funny thing is there's a reason to panic because they're 10-7 now. And last year at this time, well, they were 10-7, so I guess you can't panic. They're exactly the same.
But they worked their way to 10-7.
They worked their way. It started out, because they went on a 10-3 run after that 4-game losing streak. But you do start to. I think this Denver game is going to be incredibly interesting because you're playing the defending champions. Obviously, they're 13-6, but they've lost 6 of 10 on the road. They are beatable on the road. This is also a Nuggets team that's won 3 in a row. And they're going to be hyped up to play the Kings.
Sure.
They had some great matchups last year. Michael Malone always wants to win at Golden One Center, and his players know he wants to win at Golden One Center. And I think there's going to permanently, as long as he's on the bench for that team, there's going to be a target on the Kings' back, regardless of how good or bad they are at Golden One Center, especially. He wants to stick it to Vivek. That's not a rumor or anyway. That's a fact. He wants to stick it to the team that fired him. You also have the in-season tournament quarterfinal on Monday.
Correct.
You can't look past the defending champs. And Denver certainly isn't a trap game. But I'm really curious to see which team shows up Saturday night.
Yeah. So what last night reminded me of a little bit for the Kings is kind of what, if you observe the Lakers from afar, are doing. Like the Lakers were 4-0 and dominant in the in-season tournament. They've been okay this season. Like the last game they played before yesterday, they lost by 44 to Philly.
Yeah.
And the Kings beat them, and I've seen them a couple times like, yeah, they're all right. But in the tournament, they look great. The Kings found a way to go undefeated in that, and that's great. I'm glad their attention was good, and I think the cup's pretty cool and all that. But then you want to respond with, I think post-game, Sasha said, our energy, we are kind of empty on our energy level.
Yes.
It's like, well, you can't have that. I know I'm not saying it's easy, but you had a bunch of time off before the first game. But emotionally, I think everything was so put into the Warrior game. But you got to call on it again. It's hard to do. That's part of the 82-game grind, and I didn't think they matched that at all last night.
You can't do that if you want to make noise. You can't do that
consistently, right?
Yeah, right, exactly. Now, look, everyone has a whatever.
Sure.
But let's not forget, again, I'm not going to, you don't want to criticize losses. But let's remember they're coming off wins. I'm sorry. You don't want to criticize losses. You don't want to criticize wins. But remember, they're coming off a win against the Warriors in which they missed 15 free throws. Which De'Aaron made a comment last night, something like, it's
you got 40 partly because I made my free throws. Yeah.
Funny when you make your free throws.
Yeah. But I mean, this game, so I wrote the note doing stats for G-Man, Dave, was like the blueprint of the comeback was actually there. I didn't feel it happening, but you go, man, this is worse than the Warrior game to some extent.
Yeah.
From the about 9-minute mark to about the 2-minute mark, roughly, and there might have been a little less, 8.5 to 2.5 of the fourth quarter. When you're down a pretty large margin, the Kings scored on 9 of 11 possessions, 24 points. Like it's there. Like they're tracking a 40-point quarter. That's exactly how you do it. I think Fox had 15. Clippers scored on all those possessions too.
Yeah.
So they would gain maybe by hitting a 3 and the Clippers got 2, but you're bleeding off 1 point. Like you needed chunks. You needed stops. You needed a 9-0 run. Timeout, Ty Lue. It's an 8-point game. 6 minutes to go. Building going nuts. It's 17-point game with 6 minutes to go. Oh, they got it to 13, but nothing closer than that. Clippers had an answer. Kawhi was amazing. Their best players played better than the Kings.
I will also say this to you, off of that point too, Jason. And you always really want to be careful when you do this, but no one has Kings fans back more than you, me, I'll go into fire for him. Kings fans didn't show up last night. I didn't think. Watching on TV, I thought the place was dead. Now, I understand. You gotta have something to root for.
Yeah.
But is it just me? Or look, I'd be curious to hear from people that are going to the games every once in a while or every night. Does it seem like, and maybe it started last year, maybe it's just this year, I don't know, but I'm just going to say this year, it seems to me like the crowd is quieted a lot easier than it used to be, a lot quicker than it used to be, and it takes a little more to start them back up. It nuanced. But whereas I'm used to like it being a madhouse almost all the time, and then they make, 2 shots in a row, and now we're freaking out. Now it seems like if the other team comes out and kind of gut punches us, it gets like really dead in there.
Yeah, I'll be curious your answer on Monday because you're going Saturday.
I'm going Saturday.
I don't know. That's an interesting point. I know last night I'm going to give credit to the Clippers and Ty Lue, lead maybe 21, and the Kings scored 2. I mean, just 2 straight hoops. It's 4-0 run, timeout. Like he saw the game the night before. He wasn't letting that thing. So it's like timeout. They got a basket out of it.
Yep.
And you're like, it's back to 19. Like there was no
momentum.
And he stopped it every time, or they scored.
Yeah.
And so, like, I remember it felt like, okay, there might be a window here. I remember there was like a pick and roll lob from Malik to JaVale McGee. I'm like, okay, here you could kind of start to feel it. And then Kawhi scored.
No, you're right.
And so I know what you're saying, but I don't know. I think I need to hear and experience more.
I felt like yesterday, and again, you got to put because someone will take this out of context. Carmichael Dave saying Kings fans or something. No. I'm saying I felt like in addition to the team having an emotional hangover yesterday, it seemed like the crowd had an emotional hangover yesterday too.
Fair.
Remember, wrong. That's what came through on the TV. I wasn't there. I'm curious as to what other people's experience was. That doesn't mean Kings fans are bad. That doesn't mean they're the best fans in the world. Just felt like everyone was a little like there was a big bachelor party the night before and everybody had a little too much to drink. We'll take a break. When we come back, we didn't spend much time on anything other than Kings yesterday. But a friend of ours lost his job in the world of college football. Want to preview real quick Sac State's big game this weekend. And we never talked about the college football playoff polls. Things are coming down to the wire. Championship weekend coming up Saturday. We've also got NFL to talk about. Don't forget Kelly Brothers at 7:27, Samuel Amick at 8 a.m., and, of course, Niners at 9, Rolling Stones tickets. We got a lot for you. Sit back, relax. We'll be right back.
It's that time of year again. Sactown Sports is welcoming Santa back to town for the 40th annual Santa Parade, Saturday, December 9th in downtown Sacramento. Grab the family and join us as we celebrate Santa's arrival with marching bands, superheroes, cheer squads, and more. Parade starts at 10 a.m. at 14th and N.
We'll see you Saturday, December 9th in downtown for the Santa Parade with Shriners Children's Northern California, California National Guard, and Attic Man Heating and Air Conditioning. Get more information at SactownSports.com.
Dell's Cyber Monday event is their biggest sale of the year. Shop limited time deals on laptops like the stylish, innovative XPS 13, engineered to do it all on the Intel Evo platform. Plus, save big on ultra-sharp monitors and top-brand accessories. It's the perfect time to upgrade any home, business, or gaming setup powered by Intel Core processors. Shop now at Dell.com/deals to take advantage of huge savings and free shipping. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
O'Reilly. You've got questions? O'Reilly Auto Parts has answers. Need a pro you can trust? We've got that too. No matter what you need, our professional parts people have the training and expertise to help you do things right. Deep automotive knowledge. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Don't you just love this time of year and the holidays when families get together to make memories? Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. From the time I was a youngster, the family table was always filled with a gathering of grandparents, aunts and uncles, brothers and sisters. Those are memories that will live with me forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings holiday home sale going on right now gives you the opportunity to find the perfect holiday gift that will last a lifetime. You'll find unique gifts like gleaming accessories for every room, now 20% off. During Naturewood's holiday home sale, you'll find savings all around the store for every room in your home. Find your perfect bit of Christmas for your home at Naturewood Home Furnishings Holiday Home Sale, going on right now. The memories you make with your family will be with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
With RT Painting, our name says it all. We are a reliable and trusted commercial and residential painting company serving the Sacramento area since 1998. Employee-owned, our attention to detail is second to none. Put our decades of experience serving our community to use for you. Get a free quote today. Call us at 916-900-8112. That's 916-900-8112. Or go online to rtpainting.com. That's rtpainting.com. RT Painting, your trusted and reliable painting contractor of choice.
At Elk Grove Honda, we make sure every certified pre-owned Honda is one we'd buy from ourselves. At Elk Grove Honda, in addition to our lower prices, we include many benefits that a private seller just can't match. Our Honda-trained technicians only certify our Hondas if they pass a thorough 182-point inspection, and our certified pre-owned Hondas are under 5 years old, so you know you're getting the newest Hondas in prime condition. See our exceptional selection of lower-priced certified pre-owned Hondas in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
It's no secret to golf enthusiasts that Timber Creek and Sierra Pines in Roseville are one of the region's most unique and scenic places to enjoy a great game of golf. 27 holes, boundless options. Elevate your game on our newly renovated driving range, putting green, and chipping area. Whether you're aiming for fun, lower scores, or all-around growth, we've got you covered. Experience golfing dreams in Roseville and book your tee time at timbercreekgc.com. Timber Creek and Sierra Pines, your ultimate golf haven.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say.
He's good at what he does.
On Sactown Sports.
Were you talking to Banana Tom?
Banana Tom, everybody.
Back away, banana breath. What the hell did you just eat? A banana?
Play that again, please.
Back away, banana breath. What the hell did you just eat? A banana?
Who is that?
Wait, don't. One more time.
Back away, banana breath. What the hell did you just eat? A banana?
Oh, I know this voice.
I do, but I don't have it. Usually I'm pretty good at this.
I don't know who it is.
Oh,
so.
you don't?
I can look it up.
Let's see if see, that should be our Rolling Stones contest. Gosh, is it? I feel like
it's just a random person that's interesting, but it sounds like somebody.
Sounds like is it a TV actress? Oh my God, I know that voice. But come on, somebody. I'm waiting for somebody on the chat here. From the 530, I'm a loud fan. I couldn't get going like I usually do, and the crowd seemed the same way in general.
Yeah.
Another one. I was at both games. I was emotionally drained after the Warriors game. From the 916. For those of us who go to most games, we and our seatmates were as exhausted as the team was last night. It felt like that. Felt like everybody was just exhausted.
Yeah.
Banana.
Banana.
Who is it?
It appears her name is Allison Martin, and it just looks like she's been a guest star on shows forever.
Allison Martin. Oh God, here we go. We have to get to.
I have to look at her.
Allison. She's from something that I watch. Nope, don't recognize her. Maybe she just sounds like somebody else. She's a character actress who's been in things.
Back away, banana breath. What the hell did you just eat? A banana?
She is, along with Alex Trebek's wife, Jean, the editor and co-founder of the podcast and online magazine Inside Wink. Well, that's not where I know her from. Oh, she was she was on The Office. Maybe that's where we know her from. Big Bang Theory. Law and Order. Seinfeld.
Party
of Five. That's probably where you know her from.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Dan Hawkins, who joined us each and every week on this program, coach at UC Davis, has stepped down as coach of UC Davis. Interesting.
Yeah, I'd heard a small rumor or something like that during the year, but then thought, well, I mean, just heard something.
We find out why? Did it get out? No, just
nothing
kind
official.
of time to move
I know
on.
he's always been into his family. He's told us so much on the show.
Yeah.
He's done this a long time. And they had a good year, 7-4. A lot of guys coming back. Beat your both your rivals, Cal Poly and Sac State. But, a little surprising.
Like you said, 7-4 might have probably got screwed out of the playoffs.
I think they should have been in.
But, maybe it's, look, this guy used to coach Boise State, used to coach Colorado. No offense to UC Davis or anything, but be interesting to see if maybe he's got a line on something else. Coaches are always moving around.
That part, I mean, I would say that would surprise. I felt like he was kind of comfortable and happy, and this is his alma mater. And
interesting.
That's how I felt. Now, I can't claim to know more than that.
Now, I don't know where I read this, or again, I just remember Jason Anderson or somebody reported on it, but I felt like I read that they feel like they have a line on maybe an assistant with Cal.
Yeah, Tim Plow, who had been at at UC Davis before. We'll see. Yeah, because I think he's also rumored to maybe even having a high-level position at Cal, maybe an offensive coordinator. So, I mean, now you're talking dollar figure difference. You want to be a head coach or maybe make some more money?
You're talking about the guy from Cal as a high level?
He might be an OC potentially at Cal, which is probably paid more than
I would imagine
coach at UC Davis.
Coach at UC Davis,
but which do you prefer?
Because at some point, if you want to get on the carousel,
got to kind of start it.
You got to kind of, otherwise you're,
And nothing wrong with being a coordinator of your life. That's fine.
No, not at all. And as we talked about before, whether it's North Turner, Norm Chow, Josh McDaniels, there's just some guys cut out to be coordinators.
Yeah.
Really. So shouts to Dan. He was really good to us all year long. And hopefully he lands wherever he wants to land, however he does want to land. Maybe he just wants to go watch his son coach, maybe coaching against his son. And he was like, you know what? I've had it. I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
Not coaching.
Good way to go out that one and beating Sac State.
Yeah.
Last two games.
Or it might be, okay, I beat him. Now I got to retire.
Yes.
Undefeated.
Because then
They'll never beat me.
You never beat me in your life, son.
Yeah. And don't you forget it.
And you guys have a big game this weekend.
Yes. Another trip to the Dakota, South Dakota this time.
So you went to North Dakota last weekend.
Yeah.
Now you go to South Dakota.
Yes. And, I mean, look, Hornets are underdogs. They're playing the 3 seed. If they were to win, and
play East Dakota
in their bracket, if another upset happened, they'd go likely right back to North Dakota and play North Dakota State next week. If all those factors happen.
And as you explained to me before, this division's playoffs are going to stretch sometime into July. I think it's 10 games you have to win. You have to play a whole different season.
It's cool. 24 teams. Down to 16 now. So after this weekend, it's 8.
So it's like a little mini NCAA tournament.
Absolutely.
Which is, I wouldn't mind seeing that the big boy level.
Yeah, they figured it out.
They did.
Yeah.
So this is professional. Maybe the whole Hornets team would have stayed the weekend.
Oh, wow. How about that? Could have.
Little country club out there, something like they do, like the Niners.
Country clubs?
The Dakota country clubs? Yeah, like they do in the Niners do in, what is that one? The West Virginia golf course.
Yeah, they always go to the same place.
Right? Yeah, they always go to the same place. There's a PGA tournament there. I can't remember what the name of it is. And they always stay out there or they go to Youngstown, Ohio.
That's it. That's what I was thinking of.
It's like Niners.
Yeah.
The weirdly, the 49ers spiritual home is in Youngstown, Ohio.
Yeah.
The old DeBartolo and Carmen policy days.
That's right. So they kind of stuck with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it made sense to bring the fellas back. I mean, we're back home Saturday night. It's been a long week. Now you go back tomorrow.
You got class.
Yeah.
It's
they got a lot of class.
These are student athletes with a lot of class. And then
legitimate student athletes.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Which did you see, by the way? I forget who made the comment. And speaking of college football, it was something like, in order to get a good quarterback in the transfer protocol and the transfer portal, that thing, $1 to $2 million. Man. Yeah, that was Nebraska head coach Matt Rule.
It's a good thing they're student athletes and it's not a business.
Quote, I know. Make no mistake.
Good business.
That a good quarterback in the portal costs $1 million to $1.5 million to $2 million right now. Just so we're all on the same page. Let's make sure we all understand what's happening. There are some teams that have $6 or $7 million players playing for them. I want to know who. Like, can we at least get a list? Like a salary list? Why is that a secret? Why can't we have it disclosed?
Honestly, is the number figure low?
You mean like, or is the guy
if
making
you had
six?
if you had the dude, whoever that, Caleb Williams, if you had Caleb Williams available to your school, I know the SC lost 5 times. It's maybe the wrong example, but he's the number 1 pick. Likely, he's a gifted quarterback, Heisman Trophy winner.
Yes.
You have a chance every week. Feels like that player at your school is worth more than $1 million to me. At a high level school.
No, I think you're kind of right. And there's a lot of ways too that you can't, it's tough to discern what that player's worth, because how do you put a price on, well, Caleb Williams is here, so I'm committing.
Yeah. I mean, what would you, I say the proverbial, you like pay to have your, I forgot your quarterback's name that got hurt.
Jordan Travis.
Jordan Travis. Healthy. Like if you could, hey, we need to raise X amount. He will be healthy for the rest of the year. That sum is ridiculous.
It 100% is. Yeah. And you're starting at probably somewhere around $10 million.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, again, who knows? But Florida State has little to no chance at winning a national title without Jordan Travis. Yeah. They snuck through Florida and North Alabama. I'm not entirely sure they beat Louisville this weekend in the ACC championship.
But like Arch Manning, I know he hasn't really done anything, and there's rumors that he may be looking around. But what if he was on the open, technically in the open market? What's that name?
I think Arch. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. No offense to his skill level, but our Arch Manning is the most electric name in college football right now because of that family. That it's, if we're being honest, it's probably $15 to $20 million.
Yeah, or another, if there was someone younger than another quarterback in the Sanders Shador, but younger than him coming up, you're like, oh, absolutely, man, he's worth X.
Because all that money, people forget. It ain't the NFL, but it's not that far off.
Right.
There's a lot of money involved. By the way, playoff scenarios are beginning to materialize.
Your guys are back in.
They are. Florida State, which I'm a little surprised. I actually am a little bit surprised. I honestly thought Washington would go up to 3, and Ohio State would slip to 4. I'm not entirely sure Ohio State didn't get a little tiny bit screwed, but I get it.
But, okay, so now that you're there, I think it's important to be there before this weekend. So, to me, if you win, you're in.
Yes.
But
yes,
are they? Like, if they have a close win and someone behind them, an Alabama, but here we go again, beats Georgia.
Yeah.
Do they get in and you keep Georgia? I mean, is Georgia bulletproof this weekend? They've won like 30 games in a row. If they lost this weekend, are they out of the 4? I mean, we have more teams that are in the field of play this year than normally.
I think the one thing nobody wants, at least from a organizational standpoint, is Alabama to beat Georgia. Because what the hell do you do?
Yeah.
Do you take, as you said, Georgia, who would then be 12-1, coming off that streak? You knock them out of the top 4. How do you keep 12-1 Alabama that just...
No one would have a better win than Alabama.
Nobody would have a better win than Alabama. But you also... And then again, this is assuming Michigan wins, Florida State wins, Washington wins, which I got a feeling one of those. I think
Oregon might win.
I would put, honestly, the rankings of teams I think are going to lose this weekend that are in the mix. I would put Florida State at 1. Right behind it, I would put Washington to Oregon. I don't think Michigan's losing to Iowa.
No.
And then I would probably put Georgia. But I don't think Georgia's going to lose.
Yeah.
But if Alabama beats Georgia and Washington and Florida State win and Michigan wins, holy crap. Holy crap. We got to, because then it comes down to, well, you can't keep a power conference undefeated out, but you have to look at Florida State, especially if it's a sloppy defensive battle, and go, are they really better than Alabama? Are they honestly better than Alabama without Jordan Travis?
I mean, wait a minute. If the 4 that are in now, it's what? Georgia,
Michigan, Washington, and Florida State, all 12-0.
If all 4 lost, I think Alabama's in, Oregon's in because they beat the 2
teams.
teams.
Correct. And then I think it would honestly, to your point, I think it would be Oregon, Alabama,
Ohio State.
How do you put Ohio State in ahead of Michigan, who beat Ohio State, though, and they both have one loss?
But isn't the Michigan loss to Iowa worse than Ohio State?
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Let's
Chaos.
Let's do this. We'll take a break. When we come back, NFL new week begins tonight. We'll take a look at Thursday Night Football. Also, top games of the week. We know of one. We'll search for others. We'll do that next.
Two of the best the NFL and NFC has to offer meet Sunday in Philadelphia.
Purdy out of the shotgun, looks left, throws end zone. Caught! George Kittle in the back of the end zone.
It's the Philadelphia Eagles, owners of the top spot in the NFC, versus the San Francisco 49ers, who have had this game circled on their calendar for months. Join Greg Papa and Tim Ryan for all the exciting action Sunday at 1 on your home for 49ers football, Sactown Sports.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Yep, 'tis the season. Hi, if you're like me, you take pride in your gift giving. Well, I've got a terrific idea for you. Gift cards from the Good Feet store. Okay, so arch supports aren't exactly what they've been hinting for, but you know they'd love them. And with the Good Feet lifetime warranty, it's a gift they'll enjoy forever. Buy a Good Feet gift card now, and Good Feet will boost its value 20%. That's a 20% gift free from the Good Feet store. If you have someone on your list who's on their feet all day, has sore feet, knee, hip, or back pain, or even plantar fasciitis, maybe needs an energy boost, or just wants to maintain their active lifestyle, a Good Feet arch support gift card could be the perfect gift.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
This segment is brought to you by Light the World Giving Machine.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. KHTKAM Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento. Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
Sactown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom,
with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Kelly Brothers coming up in a little over 20 minutes. From Pocatello, Idaho. Name on the text line. Dan should come to Idaho State and coach for the Sun.
Oh, Pocatello listening today.
You know we're big in Pocatello, Idaho.
Yeah. All those potatoes.
Is Idaho the most stereotyped state when it comes to something? Like, which is a bigger stereotype? Nebraska corn, Idaho potato. I don't know. California has like 7, you know. Is there an equivalent to that?
Maine lobster.
Maine lobster. That's pretty good.
What's the Alan was talking about? What's the food in Pennsylvania?
Oh, Scrapple.
Yeah.
It's a fun board game to play today.
It is.
Yeah, I feel like those are the big ones.
Boston baked beans.
Yeah, I mean, or club chowder.
Yeah.
New York pizza.
New York pizza. Yeah, but I feel like New York, Hawaii, California, Florida, like Texas, the big boys, they have like all these stereotypes.
The big boys.
The big boys.
The big six.
Yes, the Power Six Conference of the U.S.
Barbecue. Tennessee, Memphis.
So
that's Tennessee.
Yeah, but then they also have like music in Nashville and
Washington, terrible people.
Washington State. Is that a thing
for Chris?
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
You don't like Washington?
Like
I don't like the people of Washington.
Well,
Tom's cool.
Yeah, Tom's
Banana
a good guy.
Tom?
What about Marquez Tuiasosopo?
Wow.
He went to Washington.
What a pull.
Yeah, he was a good guy.
Was
by
he?
all accounts.
Doug Christie's my favorite.
Doug Christie.
Washingtonian.
Is Holden Polynice from Washington? Or did he just play in there? Seattle.
I think he just played there.
All right. Well, I've always had a fine time up in Washington, but then I don't really talk to anybody up there.
Yeah.
Just go and see the sights.
See, I need to do what you do.
Yeah.
Just go there and not talk to anybody.
What are you doing? Are you landing in Washington and
Getting in
interacting?
fights.
I'm going to Seattle like, oh, that's not how you're supposed to do that. Oh, that's not supposed to do that. We're actually better at it than you are.
I need to take more time off the air and find out how these conversations come about. Like, are you just walking down the street, you go grab a coffee, and someone's like, don't put cream in there like that? Do it the other way? Like, you have friends up there? Are you interacting? Are you going up there for soccer?
Yeah.
Okay. But that means you're hanging around soccer fans.
No, but it's like soccer fans don't like their fans.
Oh. Yeah, but soccer
fans think that they are too uppity and too gatekeepery.
But isn't it true that soccer fans are probably the most complainy, gatekeepy fans in all of sports?
That's my point.
Yeah.
They think these people.
These guys are
far.
even worse.
Yes.
By the way, Jason, and we'll maybe talk about this later. Huge win for Huddersfield Town yesterday at Sunderland. It's the first time they won in league play against Sunderland since 1960.
Wow.
Stadium of Light?
Yeah, Stadium of Light. You know, they've got the big show, Sunderland Till I Die. And the Terriers went in there with 8 of 11. 8 of their starting 11 injured, including their goalkeeper, who might be the best player on the team, Lee Nichols. And they took a 2-1 result. Big deal. Big deal. Yeah.
I'm attempting to dazzle Dave.
So they're a few points clear of relegation and trying to move up the table with new manager Darren Moore. So we'll break that down later.
Yeah, we will.
Play by play, step by step. Maybe after Kelly Brothers.
Okay.
In smaller sports, the NFL happens tonight. Seattle and Dallas, and weirdly enough,
it's fun Thursday night.
It is. It's a better Thursday night game than we're used to for the most part. Cowboys are favored by 9.5.
Wow.
Yeah, this is in Dallas, and it's one of 3 games this week, including the Eagles and 49ers. Then I think the other one's kind of lame, but they both happen to be. It's 2 lames. Oh yeah, I apologize. The Broncos and Texans are actually fun stories this year, but both 6-5.
Yeah,
that's the only teams both above 500 playing each other this week.
Would Dallas check the box of, hey, you haven't beaten anybody if they beat Seattle, though? I mean, I'm not saying Seattle's not a good team.
No.
But I don't feel like, when they played the Niners and lost badly, they played competitively, could have beat the Eagles, hung with them. But do they need to, would this do it? Would this help enough for that narrative?
I would say this, there's no doubt about this. If they beat Seattle tonight, it will be their signature win of the season.
Okay.
It will be.
And they've been crushing teams. Like if they do that, if they handle Seattle like the point spread suggests and wins by 2 scores, that'd be nice.
Honestly, because you're right. They beat the Giants and Jets 70-10 combined, 38-3 over the Patriots. They did have a close win against the Chargers, 20-17, 43-20 over the Rams, 49-17 over the Giants again. 89-17 combined score over the Giants, 33-10 over the Panthers, 45-10 last weekend over the Commanders. So yeah, it would be their single. They have no quality wins this year. They don't.
But and they do have a bad loss, I would say, to the Cardinals.
Yes.
Now the Niners embarrassed them, but I mean those wins. It's not like they're eking by. Really, they're crushing.
No, they're
teams.
crushing them, and they look. The Niners and the Cardinals does seem like an outlier. The Niners and Eagles losses. You're losing to arguably the two best teams in the NFL. Certainly two of the top three. The Seahawks are that kind of middle of the road, slightly above average team. And I'll tell you, if the if the Seahawks go into Dallas, even if Dallas wins, but if Dallas wins by like 3, 4, or 5, I think if Dallas wins by less than a touchdown, fairly or unfairly, there's going to be a lot of negative tomorrow about it towards Dallas.
Okay.
Unlike the who's the guy in New York yesterday had a great take. Amongst other things, he was getting on Dak Prescott for having a baby during the season. It was a distraction. And then he doubled down by asking because he's not married to the mother if she might be a gold digger. It's always a great place you want to go. Is to question the motivations
someone's personal life.
Yeah, exactly. Get into somebody's personal life and question the motivations of their baby's mother.
Well, I don't know. My history suggests that the talk show host probably knows more about it than Dak does.
100%. And the baby's a distraction thing is hilarious to me, because anyone who's had kids knows that, well, babies are a distraction. Babies also have a fun way of centering you and focusing you and disciplining you too. So always like that, though. It's always good to get into an athlete's personal life when they're doing, really abnormal things like starting families.
Right.
Shame
on them.
Honestly, should the NFL look into Dak Prescott and possibly suspend him?
I mean, if he's a distraction, they want the highest quality performance.
100%. And when he found out he was going to be a dad, when she got pregnant, should they have sat down and had a conversation about delaying till the end of the season?
Yeah.
Tell the baby, you got to talk to the baby.
He knows when the games are.
He knows when the games are. He knows when the season is. You got to be, you've got to be a spring or summertime baby.
Right.
You cannot.
Oh, and then now he can't work out in the off season. Come on.
No, it's a great
contract.
It's a great point.
Yeah.
I mean, you're bench pressing a baby. That's not going to build muscle.
Yeah.
Anyway, Seattle, Dallas tonight. Top games this week, Jason, just to kind of underscore. I think
top game.
Really, it's a bad weekend in the NFL, buoyed by one really good game.
Yeah, one mega game will carry, especially for us. Like, we've known this forever. Week 13, couldn't wait for it. Now it's here.
Now, that being said, whether it's a fight card or an NFL weekend like this, how many times have we been burned? You're a fight fan. I'm not ordering that UFC. I'm not ordering that boxing. It's top heavy. I mean, this is the equivalent. If you take the analogy further, this is an NFL fight card. You have this massive heavyweight championship fight between the two best pound for pound boxers in the world going at it, or two of the top three, possibly worth the price of admission alone. But then some people are like, but the undercard, there's nobody on it. More often than not, what happens is that undercard ends up being a tremendous undercard filled with amazing fights. Don't rule out that this isn't an incredibly entertaining weekend in football. It's just, what was it? Was it a year or two ago, Jason? We were talking crap about an NFL weekend. I don't know if this jogs your memory or not. And it ended up being like the most 3-point or under victories. Does that sound familiar at all?
Well, there was just one, about 3 weeks ago, the most walk-off
field
goals ever.
And that was not.
I don't remember being like this stellar slate.
Yeah. And we start getting closer and closer to the playoffs as well.
So you're saying Tom Brady's right?
No, that everything's softer?
Yeah. Everything's terrible in the NFL.
Everything.
The worst, Tom. We'll take a break. When we come back, 3 for Madness brought to you by Fire Wings, Kings, and Clippers, and the Kelly Brothers at 7:27. We'll get into Mark Cuban's deal in Dallas and a few more things. Don't go away. Sam Amick at 8 o'clock. We'll be right back.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Imagine it's the last ride, but your symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, are taking you for a ride. What should you do? Keep managing your constipation with belly pain the same old way? Or try getting ahead of your symptoms by talking to your doctor about treating it with Linzess, linaclotide. Linzess is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually.
Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling.
Imagine, what could relief from IBS-C mean for you? Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
Just real quick, we all compete with each other in and out of market, but radio is an extended family, and we all want to kick each other's butts, but nobody wants to see anyone lose a job. I grew up listening to KHDK, and in the Bay Area, I listened to KMDR, and big changes over there. Some long time folks over there. Paulie Mack from Murph and Mack, the morning show. Lee Hammer, they've been a PD there, the engineer. I mean, he's been there since I was a little kid. And our old friend FP Santangelo, all shown the door yesterday. Yeah. So, So shout out to them. That sounds so corny, but hopefully everybody lands on their feet. You never want to see anybody lose their jobs.
No, not at all.
3 for Madness brought to you by Fire Wing. Speaking of chicken, by the way, somebody had texted us earlier. We were going through. We had. What do we have? Idaho potatoes, Nebraska corn, Maine lobster. Somebody wanted to know would Kentucky Fried Chicken count? And I don't think it would, but would horses count for Kentucky? Is that enough to put it?
We're talking about food, though.
Yeah. Well, then
you would go with bourbon.
Yeah.
Hold on. That's not a food.
Well, but it's
as my buddy said, there's a sandwich in every beer. He used to grow up telling me that. The sandwich in every beer. My old buddy Brett. Christopher Law, 3 for
beer sandwich.
Like if you get a Guinness.
Yeah. Well,
that's a sandwich.
Yeah, that is, incredibly filling. I have had a Guinness before. Not the best tasting thing, but it's thick.
It's the perfect morning beer.
Is it the perfect morning? Is it because it looks like coffee?
It sort of is, and it kind of has that taste.
Yeah, a little that bittery kind of coffee taste. Yeah, that's not a bad pull. If there is a perfect morning beer, there you go. I can bring in a couple. Yes, I had an A&W yesterday.
Nice. How was it? A float or just
as a can?
Okay,
not as good, but in a pinch.
Yeah.
3 for Madness. Question 1.
The Kings, for the most part, didn't show up last night. Do you give them a pass?
Yes. Like, I understand why they did not show up. I did not expect them to show up. I did expect them to lose last night. I think it's just kind of the manner in which they didn't show up that really bothered me. Like, I expected them to lose and, be competitive-ish, but in the end, especially, and you did see a lot of those threes bouncing off the front iron. Like, legs were toast, emotions were toast. But it's a contender-pretender thing, and this is just hopefully a learning process for them that, the big boys are able to recover mentally. At the same time, it's like anything. When you're trying to get into shape, maybe the first day you run a half a mile and a month later you're running 2 miles if you're consistent. Maybe nights like last night, they're not in mental shape yet, but the more pressure games they play, the more situations they put themselves in, the more they answer or exceed expectations. Maybe that, even though it's hard to quantify, is what comes into handy come April, May, June when you're back underneath the spotlight. So I'm gonna choose to look at last night as growing pains and see how they respond.
I'm thinking about in this question, looking at the guy right behind you, De'Aaron Fox. I'm thinking about Mike Brown, thinking about Sabonis, and asking them that question. Is it all right to give you guys a pass? No way.
Of course they would say no.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm going to say no. There's no pass there. I understand it kind of to your point, maybe reasons why they lost.
Yeah.
But I'm not giving them a pass. If they want to, Mike Brown, I'm going to use their words. They want to be good to great. To be great, you're not going to win every game, but I think you want to be in a chance to win every game or as many as possible. And they didn't have a chance to win yesterday.
No, they did not. And
So,
the only chance they had, well, it is. And let's be really clear. De'Aaron Fox showed up.
Yes, he did.
The one guy where you could probably say, well, I get it. He's still battling from the ankle, and it's De'Aaron Fox, and it's okay for him to have an off night or two. Yeah, he's the one that showed up.
Yeah.
Domantas Sabonis, milk carton Sabonis last night.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Question 2.
Question 2.
Even with the Warriors win, that's 2 straight games the Kings have looked mostly terrible. Is that concerning?
Yeah, concerning. Not, oh my God. I'm concerned. It's on my radar now. Because again, it's not like they beat I understand the emotions of beating the Warriors, but everyone's beating the Warriors these days. I need to. I'm not saying they need to. They got to beat the defending champions. No, if they lose, even if they lose to Denver Saturday, I'm not panicking. It's the manner in which they either lose or obviously beat Denver. I just need to see this Kings team we know show up, because I haven't really recognized this Kings team the last 2 games. Even the win against the Warriors was a weird game for them. I'd like to see them show up and start clicking, running that offense, playing better defense, and hitting on more than just 1 or 2 cylinders.
Yeah, they need to stop getting down 20 points at home, giving up 70 points in the first half. The odd thing is these 2 games, which haven't been very good, the game before that was, I think, their best game when they beat Minnesota. So, that's in them. They're capable of that. What's weird is when the season is over, I don't know what the standings will look like, but I think we all think of the Warriors and think of the Clippers as the better teams in the West.
Yeah.
The teams they've beaten this year, the top seed Minnesota, number 2 seed OKC, Dallas is 3. They've beaten currently the top teams in the West. But I think teams we're looking at is, man, a little worried about what the Warriors could be and what the Clippers could be. They've lost to them here in the last 2 nights and down by 20 plus at home. Concerning, not total red flags, but concerning.
Is it possible that they didn't take Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Russ Westbrook, and James Harden seriously enough?
I don't think so.
They couldn't have overlooked them.
I think also there's another team on the other side, and those guys played well.
Trap game. That's what it was.
Trap.
Question 3.
Did last night give you any more confidence in the Clippers?
Yeah, I think obviously our job is to cover the Kings. Our job is to talk about them, but let's look at this Clippers team, which is a big story. Who was it last night? I think it was Matt Barnes and Kyle Draper on the post game. Somebody said it. I think it was them. Nobody wants to see this team succeed. Everybody's looking for them to fail, and myself included. By the way, I've been very, very hard on James Harden. The whole idea of bringing him to the Clippers, but that as they both brought up, Matt and Kyle, and they're right. That is an incredibly useful tool for NBA locker rooms, especially when you're talking about 4 Hall of Famers with Titanic-sized egos that know this is probably, if not their last, no, I'm not talking about this year, but I'm talking about this iteration. This might be their last best chance to win a championship. They're 8-9, but they've been showing a little bit of life since that big losing streak they had when they caught when they got James Harden. They have won 5 of 7 and wins against the Kings and against the Mavericks and against the Rockets in there. So there's some quality wins in there. I can't believe I'm saying the Rockets, but I am. I was as depressed as I was with the Kings last night. I was pretty impressed with the Clippers, and there's no doubt about it. If they can keep it all together and they can keep those egos in check, And oh, by the way, healthy. Yeah, they're a team I don't think people are going to face in the playoffs, but we've been saying that for years.
I think the last two parts of your statement are the most important: health and their egos. I think that's going to do them in the end. But I think last night a good version of what they can be. I think they also watched that Kings Warriors game. Kings were trying to speed up pace, trying to trap, and the Clippers did a much better job of, once the trap was broken, now it's a 4-on-3 situation, and they handled that much better in the half court than the Warriors did. Where I think they're going to run into something here, Dave, is this. I still think their best player is Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, I agree.
He's the one that's won a couple of championships. The other guys are desperate for a championship. They're not all on the same page to me in that way, and I think I don't know. I don't think it's going to work. I think they're going to be a good team. I think they're a playoff team. I just don't think they're a championship team.
Help me out. Now, when you say that, is the implication there that is it the other guys would be hungrier for a championship, or they don't understand like Kawhi how to get to?
Yeah. Well, here's the example I gave to Henry last night in the pregame. I said, okay, this is going to be a scenario. It wasn't last night, but the example I gave was the night before when Malik Monk throws in the prayer, 7 seconds left. But I said, the Clippers have a timeout. So boom, timeout taken. You go to the bench, and I'm going to put Russell Westbrook on the floor here. So it's Westbrook, Harden, Kawhi, and Paul George, and a fifth.
Yeah.
At some point, that play is drawn up for someone. I don't even know who.
Right.
They're all Hall of Famers. Mm-hmm. Everybody's taken the last shot before.
Yes, multiple times.
And I'll say it's going to Harden. It's really hard for Paul George to go, I'm setting a screen.
Mm-hmm.
Russell Westbrook, stand in the corner. Kawhi, be a decoy. Like, I think that's difficult. That's me. I don't know. If they can handle that, great. I think it's also nice to have, like, look, it could be anybody. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But they have to pick somebody.
Yeah, there could be there could be decoys.
Yeah.
And on one hand, that's great. On the other hand, they know who the decoy is.
Right.
They maybe don't want to be the decoy.
Well, here, it's likely 9 times out of 10 starting with De'Aaron, and he doesn't have to shoot the ball, but it's like, hey, we're going through De'Aaron.
Right.
And then if it's a corner 3 to Keegan, cool. If it goes through I just think that has potential to be bad for them.
Also, by the way, hey, Paul, if you've got the shot, take it.
Yeah.
If not, kick it to James or Kawhi.
Yeah.
Or let me get more accurate. Hey, James, if you've got it, take the shot. If it's not wide open, kick it over. And then James thinks he's got the shot with 2 guys draped on him while PG.
I've made this before.
Right. If I'm Ty Lue, the easiest way to solve this, to be honest, is paper, scissors, rock in the huddle.
Exactly.
Yeah, draw straws.
I think it was Utah earlier this year where there's like a baseline shot of Westbrook taking a potential game-tying shot, and you could see Kawhi cross court kind of going, hands in the air.
Yes.
And Westbrook missed it, but you can't. You got to believe your teammate's going to make it. Now that's Kawhi going, I need the ball here.
Right.
Which I don't blame him for thinking that.
I don't want Russ. Of all those guys, I don't want Russ. Of all those guys, I don't. Russ is the one I don't want him taking the last shot. All right, we'll take a break. Kelly Brothers joins us next. In the meantime, I want to remind you that at American Energy, their number one priority is making sure you and your family are comfortable in your home for the holidays, and that's why they're giving away a free whole home HVAC system to one lucky family right here in the greater Sacramento area. Now, that's right. If you or you know of a family in need of being comfortable this winter, enter for your chance to win the American Energy Comfort Giveaway by going to the aeway.com today. Now, you could win a free whole home HVAC system just by entering it at the AEWay, David.com. It's American Energy, A+ Better Business Bureau. Been doing this since 1981, making the uncomfortable comfortable. For official contest rules, go to the aeway.com. We'll talk about the Mark Cuban sale of the Mavericks and more in sports business with Kelly Brothers next.
Can the Niners build off their NFC Championship appearance from last season? How will the quarterbacks perform throughout the year?
Purdy back, now going to throw for the end zone, wide open, Brandon Ayuk is on fire!
Will the defense lead this squad again?
Intercepted! Ball got tipped up and taken by Fred Warner!
Get all your 49er coverage throughout the NFL season on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
The Rolling Stones, live. Stones Tour 24, Hackney Diamonds. Sponsored by AARP. July 17th, Levi Stadium. The Rolling Stones, the greatest rock and roll band in the world. Tickets on sale Friday, December 1st at 10 a.m. at rollingstones.com. Your chance to see the Stones.
I always approach the holidays with a sense of excitement and a time to be with family. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa for Naturewood Home Furnishings. For me, the best times were when there were 3 generations all celebrating together. Today, we're the grandparents, and the holiday spotlight shines on my grandson. And I hope he'll remember holidays the way his papa does. Right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings will help you create your own kind of holiday memories during their holiday home sale. Unique gifts found only at Naturewood, like hall trees, curios, chairside tables, and more, are available at savings of 20% off. During Naturewood's holiday home sale, you'll find savings all around the store for every room in your home. Find your perfect bit of Christmas for your home at Naturewood Home Furnishings Holiday Home Sale, going on right now. The memories you make with your family will live with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel. At Elk Grove Honda, we make sure every certified pre-owned Honda is one we'd buy from ourselves. At Elk Grove Honda, in addition to our lower prices, we include many benefits that a private seller just can't match. Our Honda-trained technicians only certify our Hondas if they pass a thorough 182-point inspection, and our certified pre-owned Hondas are under 5 years old, so you know you're getting the newest Hondas in prime condition. See our exceptional selection of lower-priced certified pre-owned Hondas in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Joining us now on Sports Sense, certified financial planner Kelly Brothers. Kelly is an advisor with Cap Trust, one of the nation's largest registered investment advisors. Cap Trust counts among its clients numerous pro athletes and pro sports franchises, but most importantly serves many Northern Californians through comprehensive financial planning. Here's Kelly Brothers.
All right, it's Thursday. That means it's Kelly Brothers time. Good morning, Kelly. How are you?
Worst part about Thanksgiving was I didn't get to talk to you guys. That's the worst part about Thanksgiving.
Yes.
There's not a lot of Thanksgiving at all. You know, before we get going, Kelly, we got in this random conversation as we were wont to do this morning. You've been around in this market a long time. You remember Commander Bill over at KFBK?
Oh, yeah. Commander Bill and Joe Miano. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they would just literally fly around every day, morning and night, just talking traffic. It was
so
we think a radio station with 2 airplanes in the air at the same time twice a day. Those were the salad days, weren't they?
They were. We were talking about that. I forgot about Joe Miano. You're so right. And Commander Bill, I told the story that God, when I was a kid, I'll never forget that Bill had a heart attack while up there, landed the plane, and got it in the hangar, obviously recovered. He passed it, we said 91 just a couple of years ago. And it was this whole question, Kelly, of, God, to your knowledge, is there like still a live copter 3? Do we still have helicopters in the news here anymore, to your knowledge?
Oh, Channel 3 does. Yeah, Channel 3 has live copter 3, and they use it pretty regularly. I don't think the other stations do anymore. I'll tell you about, just because for Sacramento history, it's kind of a cool story. So right before I left Channel 3, I ran into General Chuck Yeager.
Yeah.
Who was, I don't know if for people who go way back, he did the battery commercials where he was knock it off my shoulder, but he broke this, the sound barrier. He was featured in The Right Stuff, which was a great movie. I mean, just a hero, right? And I ran into him, and I said, General, I know your 80th birthday is coming up, and I know it's the 60th anniversary of your getting your wings. We haven't heard from you in a while. Would you have a cup of coffee with me, or could I buy you lunch? And he said, I'm going up flying this afternoon. You want to go?
No.
And I said, General, there aren't many people on the list of 80-year-old pilots that I'd go flying with, but you're on it. So I'd love to go. So we went up flying in his plane up above Grass Valley, Nevada City. He let me fly a little bit just to feel, I'm just feeling the yaw and he says, hey, I didn't live 80 years so you could turn me into a smoking hole. Give me back my airplane. And So it was a great thrill to fly with Chuck Yeager, man. That was he was one of a kind.
No one's topping that ever.
I know.
Like, how do you top that? It's not happening. I walked on the moon with Neil Armstrong once.
Exactly.
It was cool. Wow.
No, and the true story was, I mean, the plane he broke the sound barrier in was the glamorous Glennis, named after his wife Glennis, and Glennis was from Nevada City, which is why Chuck Yeager settled here, because originally he was from West Virginia. But and the other part about it in aviation world is every person who's ever flown wants to sound like Chuck Yeager on the on the intercom or whatever they call it, where they talk to the tower.
Yeah.
They all want to sound like Chuck.
Kelly, sports business wise news this week, we're hearing some stuff going on with the Dallas Mavericks. Mark Cuban still will be kind of the face, but turning over some of the ownership here. What do you know about that deal?
Yeah, I mean, as an investment guy, one of the things I think of is, oh my gosh, if he gets a check for $2 billion, or Michael Jordan, who got a check for $3.5 billion to sell the Hornets, what do you do with that money? You're not putting it into the market, at least not all of it. So, boy, you got to be buying some real estate, or that's a lot of money to place, I'll tell you. Anyway, but I digress. This surprised me for one big reason. There is no one who enjoys being an NBA owner better than Mark Cuban. But he gets to retain control of the basketball operations. And I think he thinks he can make a lot more money because he's keeping some of his shares. And the whole idea here, I think, is twofold. Number one, bring in the Adelson family and push along the idea of legalizing gambling in the state of Texas, which it is not legal right now. But if that happened, the Adelson family would be big. They're big in the Sands, Las Vegas. They're multi-billionaire family. I mean, that family's worth $30 billion. This is $2 billion of that $30 billion. And the second really interesting part to me is Mark Cuban going to self-fund a run as an independent for president of the United States? And that has been talked about. He's let Shark Tank know this coming season is my last season on Shark Tank. Here he is kind of creating some cash, and it wouldn't surprise me if he did. I love Mark Cuban. I'm not sure he's a great presidential candidate, but it really was an intriguing move, no doubt about it.
No, that definitely was the big rumor, that he's divesting himself in a couple of his two main arteries to self-fund a run, which is interesting. So he's trying to go the Trump route, do the TV show, get yourself out there. Then the problem is Mark, again, this is opinion, but forget about his stances, and we won't get into the politics, but it just doesn't seem as charismatic. The charisma doesn't seem there at all, Kelly.
Yeah, and believe me, I'm someone who would love to see a strong independent enter the race, but because next year politically is going to feel like a dumpster fire. That's just the nature of it. But I don't know if Mark is the guy, but it like I said, man, there's no one who loves being an owner more than Mark Cuban. I mean, there's no other owner who sits where he sits and shouts what he shouts, and he's a little bit of the Elon Musk of the sports world. He's always said what he thought, and that's been refreshing.
Well, and that's apparently not going to change. That he is, and then we talked about it yesterday. The mistake people are making in the media, saying that it's one of the few examples of a minority owner that is running the show, and we point out, well, Vivek's technically a minority owner, and he runs the show. It's not uncommon at all for the majority owner to not be the face of the franchise. So it sounds like Mark's going to retain that.
And maybe the Adelsons are smart enough to say, we don't know basketball.
Right.
You keep it, all those decisions. You've done a good job over 20 plus years. You keep doing that. We just want the economic interest and the leverage to build out Dallas if gambling is approved.
But none of that's what bothers me about this, Mark Kelly. What bothers me about this, the thing I can't understand, the thing that's really a mystery, is that the NBA is about to close a deal on the biggest TV contracts they've ever had. Massive. MLS is locked up. NBA is NFL is locked up. Football, college football and basketball, locked up. And as you know, news and sports, where you're not fast forwarding through, where you're not DVRing, those are the big hot commodities. You're about to close that deal, And then as soon as that deal's done, the NBA goes full force into expansion in Vegas and Seattle. And you're going to have $3 to $4 billion, maybe $5 billion in expansion fees from both sides divided between the owners. You've got the TV contract money. You got the expansion fee money all coming within the next 4 to 5 years. This is like the worst time to sell an NBA franchise. So what does Mark Cuban know, or what is he doing that we don't know? Because he's making money. There's no doubt about it, but he ain't making as much money as he could.
No, you're right. A few things. First of all, a big part of that is priced in, I'm sure. And secondly, it wouldn't shock me if in some of these deals, especially with Cuban running the franchise, there's not some 2-year look back where in 2 years they look back and say, A, how did you do running the franchise? And B, what happened that increased the value of it? And we're going to give you a piece of that. That is, those 1 or 2 year look backs are somewhat common. So you're right. It's there's no doubt about that. The fact that the world is about to change dramatically, and that's why I wonder, where does a Michael Jordan or a Mark Cuban stick billions of dollars that is not going to do better than an NBA team right now? I don't know the answer, but maybe they do. And speaking of, guys, I wanted to do a quick, look back on the Black Friday football game on Amazon, because that was new, right? I mean, they spent $100 million for the right, and they've always protected Fridays from the NFL because of high school sports, but there's very few high school games on the Friday after Thanksgiving. The ratings were, I think, a little, I won't say disappointing because it was on streaming. 9.5 million or so viewers. But, people on Good Friday, Black Friday, people want to get out and do stuff. They've sat around all day Thursday, and they're going to sit around all day Saturday and Sunday. But how many people, we don't know how many people they added to Amazon Prime to watch the game, and how much this contributed directly to the shopping numbers on Amazon on Black Friday, where people could literally point their phone at a QR code on the screen, boom, and buy it, because we know that it was a record, weekend for Amazon in terms of their retail operations, and that more than half of the purchases were made on a phone. So, and then, guys, the other part to think about this is this was on streaming. Yeah. Imagine a world where in a year or two, a lot more of this is happening on streaming. What does that mean? That means the fans of one fan base are getting one commercial during a break, and the fans in a different geography are getting a different commercial in the break. Something that is not possible over terrestrial TV. So that is a whole new world of profitability for streaming of sports that is coming our way.
Yeah, it's got to start somewhere. So I'm guessing with this kind of first run at it, this is just the start, as you're alluding to, Kelly. We'll see more of this in the future.
Oh, God, yes. I mean, just given the deep pockets of Apple and Amazon, I mean, they're going to, and ESPN wants back in. NBC has said they want back in on the NBA package. So, yeah, absolutely. But it's going to be very deep-pocketed people, as Dave points out. And that new deal is coming to fruition here in the next year. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out. And this, in many ways, is going to be Adam Silver's legacy. How does he navigate this move towards streaming?
Just for context, by the way, he said that the ratings numbers for Amazon Prime, which not everybody has, which is streaming, was in the 9 million range. The World Series averaged just over 9 million. The NBA Finals last year averaged around 11 million. You got a Black Friday game for the NFL, a throwaway game, and it's pretty much matching both of those, Kelly.
No, absolutely. And I forget what the game did on Thursday, that Cowboy game, but that was like the highest rated game in a few years.
Yep, the NFL is a monster. Look, Kelly, end of November, we got to wrap up here, but it is the end of the month. We just had Thanksgiving, and hey, that market timing sure is easy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. No, good point, Dave. I think November has proven that market timing is nearly impossible. A month ago, I mean, everyone, inflation and the Fed, and the world's coming to an end with geopolitical hotspots and everything else. And what happens? We're about to wrap up the month, and these major averages are up anywhere from 8 to 11% for the month, which is a good year for a lot of years. But it's really hard, if not impossible, to try to time out when the market is. And the biggest problem is when someone says, we hear it often, I want to get back in when things feel better. When things feel better, the market's already up. I mean, that's the hard part. That's actually probably the wrong time to be investing, is when things feel better. But as I pointed out, next year things aren't going to feel better, and you just have to grin and bear it. But no, it's a end of the year, and we're getting ready for it, and we appreciate it and appreciate the conversation, gentlemen. And one last note, just saw where Salt Lake City, it looks like they're going to get the Olympics in 2034. Sacramento could and should go after a Winter Olympics. When you look at these Olympics, where they are and how far they travel for various venues, you think of everything within 2 hours of Sacramento. You think of mountains. You think of arenas. I mean, seriously, you could easily host a Winter Olympics in Sacramento.
They had one in Squaw Valley
years ago.
Yeah, years and years and years ago. All right, Kelly, thank you. Each and every Thursday we speak.
Have a great weekend, gentlemen. Thank you.
All right, you take care. Take care. That's Kelly Brothers, 727, when we talk to him each Thursday. We'll take a break. Before we do, Jiffy Lube drive of the game. We'll take the first caller that can give us the Jiffy Lube drive of the game from last night. I believe there was one.
There was. I heard it.
Okay, so the first person that gets us the drive of the game, $100 gift certificate to Jiffy Lube. Now I'm going to put on my helmet and shoulder pads, because coming up next, I want to look back at the tenure of Vlade Divac as general manager. I have some questions, and there's a reason I have.
He was in the building last night.
He was in the building last night.
He was in the building the night before.
Yes, he was. And that kind of, for that and other reasons, brought that in my head last night. I was thinking about it and wanted to bring it on the air and have a conversation. We'll do that next.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Nature Wood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Does your dog leave frowny piles of poo around the yard? Did you know that a solid poo is one of the best indicators of your dog's gut health? Supreme Source Super Premium Dog Food is made with organic super seaweed and other powerful antioxidants, supporting a healthy digestive system. Real protein is always the first ingredient, plus a blend of essential vitamins and minerals to help support your dog's overall health and well-being. Do their digestion a solid, literally. Find Supreme Source Premium Dog Food at Safeway, Safe Mart, and Winco, or a local grocery store near you.
The 49ers Report, brought to you by E.B. Stone. E.B. Stone, for the life of your garden. The 49ers feasted on Seattle for Thanksgiving, dominating their bitter rivals on the road, 31-13. Running back Christian McCaffrey led the way with 139 scrimmage yards and 2 touchdowns on 24 touches. San Francisco is now 8-3 on the season. The Red and Gold have an extra 3 days rest before heading to Philadelphia for a pivotal NFC rematch with the league leaders Sunday afternoon.
Celebrating over a century as a family-owned business, E.B. Stone has gathered invaluable insights into nurturing plant growth. Venture into indoor planting with E.B. Stone's Edna's Best indoor and outdoor potting soil. Watch your little plants flourish into ideal indoor companions for the whole family to relish during the holidays. E.B. Stone's indoor and outdoor potting soil is a meticulously crafted blend of essential ingredients. Your plants will thrive both indoors and outdoors. Trust E.B. Stone for the entire lifespan of your garden. Explore more gardening tips, products, and find nearby locations at ebstone.org. Wishing you a season filled with joy and flourishing greenery.
Amazon will be delivering packages to your house. Let Amazon deliver customers to your business. If that sounds good and you want more in 2024, simply text digital to 916-766-5105.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sactown Sports.
Sports Illustrated, or let's be honest, what's left of it. Did you hear, by the way, that Sports Illustrated was accused, and apparently they have new ownership, of having AI writers?
Oh, wow.
Including pictures and profiles Like they found that like one of their writers, somebody did some research, and the picture matched the picture of like this AI site you can buy AI generated faces from. And it was like young Asian woman. And then they transferred over, and yeah, that's
wow.
And then after that story came out, suddenly all the writers' profiles were scrubbed from SI. So that being said, Sports Illustrated reporting that if he were willing to drop his lawsuit, the NFL would give a passive nod of approval to John Gruden returning to coaching, and that Mark Davis would be interested in bringing him back. Again, that's Sports Illustrated reporting, not the name it used to be, but worth following at least.
I wish you weren't a liar.
Lance, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Dave. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm awesome.
Crappy game, but there was a Jiffy Lube drive of the game. Do you remember what it was?
Yeah, De'Aaron Fox to the hole and one.
Let's see if Lance is right.
Broken screen, dances to his left, accelerates, runs into a triple team, scores, and he's fouled. How about that take to the basket? De'Aaron Fox with an and one opportunity in the final seconds of the first quarter is going to be your Jiffy Lube drive of the game.
It's you, Lance.
Lance.
$100 richer in a Jiffy Lube gift card. Go get all the stuff needed for your vehicle for the winter done at Jiffy Lube. Thank you for listening to us, and thank you for listening to the G-Man last night, despite the, lack of performance.
Well, I appreciate it, guys.
I appreciate
Thank you,
you.
Lance.
Take care, and I put him on hold.
Hey! You're better than the Kings.
The best. Speaking of Kings.
Yeah.
So full disclosure, I've talked about this before. Like, look, in this business, especially you've been around a little bit, you get to know people and you try your best to be fair and not to let any of that cloud your thoughts. There are a lot of things you could say about Vlade Divac. One thing I will stand on till the day I die that I think is unimpeachable. Vlade Divac is a good man.
100%.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
He is universally beloved by all around him.
Yes.
And he loves Sacramento, and he loves the Sacramento Kings. So totally full disclosure. He's been around. He's been in town the last few days. You may have seen him at a couple games. Saw him last night.
Yeah.
Sitting with Vivek. So when the show was over yesterday, I went and I'd seen him in a while. I hadn't seen him in a couple of years. So I went and had coffee with him and his wife. She was there. His wife, Lana, is great. And we sat and caught up on a lot of things and talked for a while. And anytime you get a chance to spend any time with Vlade, you take it. He's just, they say there's some people who are larger than life. Like he's larger than life in every way, shape, or form. And I told Vlade repeatedly, and I'm going to be, I would never violate, confidences. But Vlade tells stories, and in retrospect, Vlade is an open book, and sometimes to his detriment, as we'll get into here in a second. And I said, Vlade, you got to write a book, or you got to sit with somebody at some point. Like you got to sit down and just, you got to lay a lot of this out, man. It's just, some of the stuff's amazing. I'm not talking about like, scandal. And I'm just talking about, it's interesting to hear from his Laker days to Sacramento to his GM days. Like, he's a very interesting man. So we had a great conversation, left. And it got me thinking, because we've seen Vlade around. And, and again, full disclosure, I didn't ask him about this because I don't, we were there as a personal thing. I didn't want to be a reporter. But I'm like 99.9% sure Vlade is back in some capacity with the team, maybe not with the team, but with Vivek, as an advisor or whatever. I don't know that for sure, but it sure does smell that way.
Yeah, he's around a lot.
He is. And I don't have a problem with that. Look, here's what my only concern would be, okay, Monty's doing a really good job, and let's not screw with that. But here's a fun fact I don't mind sharing. Monty and Vlade have a relationship. Like they have Vlade has been very helpful to Monty especially when Monty got here. Now, again, I'm not sitting here saying Monty's calling saying, should we do this trade? Should we draft this guy? I'm talking about the ins and outs, the politics, this, that, the whatever, the town, the team. Vlade's a resource. He knows this city and he knows this ownership really, really well. So Vlade's always been like, even after he was let go, was like, hey, he reached out to this rookie GM, was like, I'm here if you need me for anything. And I don't know how often Monty's used that or not, but they have a relationship. So I'm very confident that whatever Vlade is doing with the team is separate, if you will, from Monty and his gang. So I don't want people to start worrying about that. And again, that's assuming he's back, which I don't know. But I started thinking about his tenure and his legacy as GM, and I'm 100% open to pushback here, and I'm 100% admitting that I want to look back on Vlade's tenure as GM better than I think it's looked at. I think when you look back, it's like Vlade, nice guy, didn't know what he was doing, drafted badly over Luca. I'm sure we can name a couple other things. It wasn't a great tenure. Well, and here's and let me just be a defense attorney here for a second. Admittedly biased defense attorney.
Your Honor.
Bring back the judge. If I was defending Vlade's tenure, I would say this. He came in after the worst GM we've ever had, Pete D'Alessandro, who did more damage internally than he actually did to the team. I can't stress enough that when Vlade Divac took over, he had to be convinced and asked to take over. Please remember, Vlade Divac is an incredibly rich man who has a bunch of different things going on, from the Olympic Committee in his native land to being a basketball ambassador. Like, Vlade doesn't need to hang out in Sacramento and be the GM. That's not like his life goal.
Right.
He took over pretty much as a favor because the front office was in complete shambles. Pete D'Alessandro detonated an atomic bomb when he left. And Vlade walked into the George Karl thing. Vlade walked into DeMarcus and that whole situation. And Vlade had to do the whole DeMarcus trade. That was his first big test, trading DeMarcus for Buddy Hield and the draft picks. Oh, I forgot that I had a better deal 2 days ago or whatever it was. There's more of that story, by the way, that I don't know how much it's ever come out. But again, Vlade being too honest sometimes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did have a better deal. He did. He had another pick. He had another first-round pick. What happened is he had the courtesy of calling, again, the story as I understand it, of calling DeMarcus's representation, agent, all that stuff, saying, hey, we're sending you to New Orleans. And Del Demps, who was the GM at the time, had gone back to ownership, and they wanted one pick, not two picks. And by making that trade, I think Vlade and that team also knew that it was going to drop in the standings a little bit. Remember, I think they were 2.5 out of the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Remember, they had that pick they were going to have to convey, I think, to Chicago that year. They had a first-round pick that was tied up. They had to convey if they finished a certain height. By dropping down, not only did they keep that pick, so there's that other first-round pick, but it also put him in a position. I'm not saying this is what he was trying to do, but it put him in a position to draft De'Aaron Fox. Mm-hmm. We'll go a little bit long here. No, we're not, because Sam's coming up. I want to continue this conversation, though, because I want to get into the whole Luca thing, because I think there's an interesting question developing right now. If I gave you a choice, by the way, this is separate from the Vlade thing. I'm just asking you, if Dallas called and wanted to trade Luka Doncic for De'Aaron Fox straight up right now, I'm really curious as to how many Kings fans would take that deal. I can tell you right now, I think NBA fans would probably take that deal 75-25. They would take Luka Doncic they would trade De'Aaron Fox for Luka Doncic. I think it's the exact opposite, if not crazier, for Kings fans. I think NBA fans, 7 out of 10 would trade De'Aaron Fox for Luka Doncic. I think Kings fans, 7, if not 8 out of 10, would say no.
Right.
And I want to. I would like to put the poll out, but I don't because I'll get flame thrown because it won't be in context.
Yeah. Well,
how
plus
about I put it on the YouTube page?
Plus, the other thought is, I mean, it was.
I could put it in context.
Can you put it in if you put it in context, please? Because
Okay.
I'll just get my ass kicked if you don't.
But I mean, why is it Luca for Fox?
It's not. But that gets into Vlade's reasoning, which we have talked about publicly, that I want to revisit as to why he did not draft Luka Doncic. It ain't perfect, but I think in retrospect, I think it's actually a little shinier than it used to be. I want to continue this conversation a little bit later, but we're going to get with Sam Amick next from The Athletic right here on your home of the Kings, Sactown Sports.
Malik Monk plays here.
Started left, goes right, steps back, launches the three. Nothing but net. Oh, that was just filthy. Oh, my, that was sweet.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Everywhere you look, someone is always telling you how to get more fit. While we may feel like we're fit, we can all get fitter. Maybe you have a favorite pair of jeans that don't fit anymore, or maybe you just want to lower your blood pressure a bit. Here are a few suggestions. Walk more rounds, walk to work, walk to the store, walk the dog, but walk. Strengthening the most important muscles in the golf swing, your glutes. Even Tiger couldn't fire his. Buy a foam roller and knead the muscles of your body 3 times a week, especially your hips. You can do this while you watch television. Eat more vegetables, and potato chips and carrot cake don't count. Stabilize the muscles of your core by raking leaves or sweeping floors, and eliminate soda, especially the ones with artificial sweeteners. Maybe you'll be able to take a little bigger turn. Maybe you won't get tired around the 15th hole. Either way, you're going to be much happier with yourself. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
This segment is brought to you by Light the World Giving Machine.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your home for the Oakland A's every weekend.
And it's swung on line to left center, base hit, and the A's have won it on a walk-off line drive, base hit to left center.
Sactown Sports. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom,
with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Chris Lodge just said in my ear, Sam's good. Well, we'll see as we have a few minutes to visit with. See how good he is. Good morning, Sam.
Good morning, gentlemen. Jay Ross, haven't seen you in like 12 minutes.
I know. Leaving the arena, a little fist bump from Sam yesterday. I said, talk to you in the morning.
Hey.
Yeah.
Jay you know the Rex Chapman bit on Twitter, that the blocker charge virus thing he's always done?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jay almost had himself one of them in the hallway last night.
Yeah, I turned in a corner. Someone was moving pretty quick. I almost got hit.
Your cat-like reflexes?
That's why they call me Whiskas. Quick like a cat.
Sam, I can't remember last time I fist bumped you at a game.
I know.
That would require you going to games.
That's a good point.
Hey, he's going Saturday.
Going Saturday, first game.
All right, I'll be there.
You'll be there?
I'll
Come
be
over,
there.
say hi to us.
I shall. Fistful of popcorn, like always.
You know it, buddy. You know what? I'll bring you into this a little bit. I saw Vlade. I was saying, there's full context. I saw Vlade yesterday morning, and I was spending yesterday thinking about his reign as GM. I think Vlade is still beloved in this town, but there's a lot of Vlade slander, as you know, like you've dealt with him. He's like the greatest guy, but I understand that there's, GM Vlade and human Vlade. I get that. I'm trying to be defense attorney and like go back in retrospect. It's really not a look I've tried. When I go back on his tenure and I start with the fact that, 40% of the starting lineup for this Kings team, Vlade acquired, whether it was drafting De'Aaron Fox or Justin Jackson for Harrison Barnes. So we can kind of start there. I'm trying to work through my head, Sam, if as the years go by, if Vlade's tenure as GM, if it can be looked at maybe with a little better goggles now than it was when he left. And maybe I'm just biased because I love the guy. I admit it.
I think to me, it really boils down to the Fox factor. I think De'Aaron elevating the way he has, it does not erase the choice to not draft Luca, but it certainly takes a lot of the stink off of it. I think, Luca continuing to be a top 5-10 player, depending on your opinion. But, De'Aaron, as of 2 years ago, in some people's eyes, was probably not top 30. Now, De'Aaron pushing to be top 15, top 10. Right now, he should be in the MVP conversation. That to me is kind of, if you're trying to, kind of polish up Vlade's tenure and look back on it, that's where I would focus. Does it also erase things like, the early kind of cap creating Philly trade where it appeared that certain rules were not understood, and the price that was paid for his inexperience? No, but, the Fox and Luca choice was always born out of Vlade's belief in De'Aaron. And that obviously has proven to be not as ill-fated a choice as we thought.
Yeah, and I think, Dave, you were starting to go there about kind of the rationale, at least, behind it. And some of it was, look, what De'Aaron could be may not complement each other very well with Luca.
Yeah.
And I think what's interesting to me, Sam, is we all automatically go Luca versus Marvin. But I would almost look at it, if that was the rationale, if they took Jaren Jackson Jr., just another different. It's almost like the pick was, it wasn't Luca, but Trae Young. Anybody else in that draft almost, but Marvin, I think.
Jaren was the only other option
at big.
And I think most people had Bagley as good, if not better, a thought. I think, Sam, the thought there, just to backpack what Jason's saying, is the thought was Luca was going to need the ball. De'Aaron was going to need the ball. You would have a different version of a Tyrese De'Aaron situation had you drafted Luca. So he was trying to find the Sabonis-esque counterpart. And by the way, if he drafts Luca, at some point that's not going to work. Well, you know who's going. It ain't going to be Luca. It's going to be De'Aaron.
No, to be honest, Dave, I think it would have been relatively quick. Fox would have been traded like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that was Vlade's mentality. I don't know if I've shared this on the show in the past. I talked to Vlade years after the move, after he was gone from the Kings. And it struck me. I'm kind of a sucker for people who have deep belief in things that, they feel strongly about, even when the world is saying something different. And, as of, I think it was roughly around when the Bucks and Suns were in the finals, I remember talking to Vlade and him making a comment about Luca and De'Aaron, and essentially saying, listen, not only is De'Aaron getting better, but he's still young. So let's revisit this comparison to Luca a few years down the road. And at the time, if I'm being honest, I got off the phone thinking he was nuts.
Right.
And now, of course, that gap is certainly not as wide as it was.
Yeah, and if I also remember, guys, and I could be wrong on this, and maybe it's because of the spot they were in at the time. You don't get the number 2 pick that often. They moved up in the lottery, so there was probably other external pressures to really get it right, break this drought that they were still living in. I know that they liked Michael Porter Jr.
Yep.
And there was probably fear that, can they wait a season to not play the number 2 pick? Like, that's even another name in hindsight. You go, what if they rolled the dice and said, look, we got to eat it for another year, but we might have a guy that could really benefit along with the growth of De'Aaron.
No, that's accurate. And they knew all about the back stuff like everybody else. But I remember being surprised that they were seriously looking at Porter Jr. And, sure, now you look at it and maybe you roll the dice there. I mean, that's the draft.
And they tried to move up. They did try to move up from what I understand. They did try to move up and called Denver. And,
with another pick.
As he was slipping, tried to move up. And Denver was like, yeah, right, get out of here. But
yeah,
they like him. So, it's funny because we had said, I think if you put out a poll to NBA fans, would you trade De'Aaron Fox for Luka Doncic? Probably 7 to 8, if not 9 out of 10 NBA fans would trade De'Aaron Fox for Luka Doncic. Now, purple glasses, of course, but I almost think you can directly flip that on its head with Kings fans, Sam, that maybe not 9 out of 10, but I think 7 to 8 out of 10 would say, no, I would not trade De'Aaron Fox for Luka Doncic. And that makes it interesting that the thing we always couldn't grasp, Sam, and you and I were on this as much as anyone, was how do Vlade Divac and Peja Stojakovic miss on not drafting Luka Doncic? It seemed like it was kismet the whole time, and Vlade knew Luka's dad very, very well. And now you look back, and I don't want to give Vlade too much credit here, but maybe he did know Luka Doncic a little better than everybody else. And now the big knock on Luka, right or wrong, is that he's a James Harden next level guy. He puts up a ton of numbers, but is he a championship caliber player? I'm not saying that's fair or not, but maybe that was part of the thinking process.
I hear you. I was with you for the most part.
I knew I lost it at the end.
Yeah, you lost me. As I'm now, for the YouTubers watching me go through my phone, I'm clicking on the standings. The Mavericks are 11-6.
Yeah.
They're playing pretty well. It's early. Jason Kidd had himself a press conference the other day.
Yes, he did. Yes.
ESPN's Tim McMahon, a good friend and a guy who I love it. Tim is very old school as far as even if he's very friendly with a coach, like Rick Carlisle when he was in Dallas, it was pretty friendly with McMahon, and they would mix it up all the time. Like he's not afraid to ask tough questions. And so Jason, of course, had told Tim, like, it's okay, write positive stuff. People will read your articles, yada, yada. But Jason's point was there's plenty of positive things happening in Dallas right now. So I would say to be determined on that front. With Vlade and Luca, I mean, I was trying to think of an analogy that might land, but the idea of knowing somebody too well, if there was a draft prospect who lived on my street and I watched the way that he went and got the mail in the morning and, whatever, you overanalyze things when you have too much data. And I feel like that happened partly with Vlade and Luca. He projected work ethic issues, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then, yes, the ball dominance, I mean, sure. But, Luca's a pretty special player. So, I think that part is still there.
Okay, we're talking with Sam Amick here on the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Sam, you were at the last two nights. I don't think really the best version of the Kings either night. Now, they found a way to win the first game against the Warriors, and fans love that. Probably the team needed that. They advanced in the Cup. Those were all great things, but didn't back it up with a very strong performance last night. Just curious where you see this Kings team right now, good, bad, and kind of the ugly going on with the Kings.
Yeah, there's sometimes a frustrating watch. And if I feel that way, I can't imagine how the fans feel, because it's so dynamic and explosive when it's right. But, these games, like NBA games, are quick. Like if you don't get your SH together quickly, they spiral out of control. And so I found myself watching the Kings and being dog's going to say,
doorbell.
Kids are leaving for the day. I find myself watching and just going, all right, is that version of the Kings going to show up? And to your point, Jason, it really didn't show up that much the past couple games. I mean, my God, the Warriors game was such a unique experience when you talk about the point differential factor. And, Sabonis talked after that game about how knowing that they had to only lose by 11 to get to the knockout rounds, almost kept their heads in the game, which is a fascinating psychological thing. And, they pulled that one off. They looked pretty terrible last night. If you're De'Aaron, I think more so than any other game this season, you're kind of looking left and looking right and going, guys, come on, I need something here. I give you 40. And, Sabonis had a bad night, got completely taken out of the game by Zubats. Mixed results, bounced back from that losing streak really well. And I think, we know they're a good team, but inconsistent for sure.
Sam Amick with us, and that is the problem. Keegan Murray missing, that hurts.
Yep.
Sabonis has had 2 really rough nights in a row. And Sam, I found myself last night. Look, I would have traded. I said this. I'd trade the loss of the Clippers for the win over the Warriors any day of the week. But even in the win over the Warriors, that was a weird game. 15 missed free throws, down 24. It does beg the question: did you think, when the Kings beat the Warriors, was that more about the Kings and what they did, or are we also undercutting the fact that the Warriors aren't very good right now? Are they not very good right now, in your opinion?
Yeah, I still don't. Yeah, the last part I don't subscribe to. I think they're going through some stuff, but I do think, maybe hyperbole here, that night felt like, and this is a big hypothetical, but if the Warriors continue to slide like they have recently, and if we get to the end of the year and it's underwhelming and maybe even dysfunctional like they have had in last year and in recent times, I feel like this game against Sacramento is going to be a moment that we look back on.
Yeah.
I really do. I as you guys know, we don't normally in the media get to sit courtside much anymore. I got lucky that night and sat courtside, and that means like to watch the interactions between Draymond and Steve Kerr and the Warriors bench and some of the stuff that was happening, and having covered Draymond for his entire career, and Steph as well, I felt like, the seams were starting to bust apart a little bit in terms of their personal dynamics. And I think the frustrations at a pretty high level. And if they don't get it back under control, I'm always going to remember that night.
Can you expand on that? Because that's really curious, Sam. I mean, we saw the technical. We know what the gifts he brings the team. Are you saying it's more detrimental right now? Like, what did you see there that kind of gives you that potential feeling?
It sounds corny, but like, I've generally enjoyed the heck out of covering Draymond, and I like him a lot. I'm just being honest. Watching his energy that night, he really did, seem to have an incredibly hard time maintaining his emotion, which we know he's dealt with in the past. But it was a different kind of vibe. And to see the way that Steph, Steve Kerr pointed at Steph, and this is the part I saw real closely, and it was just such a direct thing. And he's telling his guy, go get Draymond. You're the only one who can talk to him. And he essentially starts trying to get in his ear. I saw a little more pushback from Draymond than I expected on Steph. It didn't go explosive, but it didn't seem to go as well as I think Steph had hoped. Then by the time Draymond gets to Steve on the sideline, he won't stop talking about the carrying call that he thought should have been whistled. Then he gets to the bench. He got into it with one of the assistant coaches. He was shouting at some of the players. There was a lot happening. And then you glance over into the corner where Joe Lacob is sitting, and you would love to know what he's thinking. Mike Dunleavy, their GM, is there as well. And that matters to me because, when the Warriors didn't do what they had to do, in my opinion, to hold on to Bob Myers as the head of their front office and one of their leaders and one of the guys that Draymond trusts the most, the question then became, is Mike Dunleavy and his influence and his kind of impact enough to help keep this group together? I don't know the answer just yet, but the other night, the vibes were not good.
Can we just take a moment, too, to realize that one of the most amazing things we've seen in sports history happened about 5 years ago, that you had Draymond Green and DeMarcus Cousins on the same team, and they actually not only coexisted, but got along and bonded, which I never in my life would have thought that would, and because those are two of the players that are the most emotional and have the most difficult time holding on to their emotions. And I always, and this is sloppy of me, Sam. It is, and I get that it's not a direct correlation, but I always felt like if Draymond Green and DeMarcus Cousins had each been drafted by the opposite team. If you had DeMarcus on the Warriors and Draymond on the Kings, I always wonder if their careers would have gone the same. But would DeMarcus be sitting with 4 rings right now, and would Draymond be on the periphery of the league trying to get back in?
Yeah, I mean, I don't like that comp from a basketball standpoint because Draymond's game is all about selflessness and sacrifice. And, you know, I mean, DeMarcus defensively
it's not Draymond Green.
Right. Well, but wasn't even willing to do the work.
Yeah.
So, you know, his ethos as a player, I think, was wildly different. You know, one guy I do think still basketball wise lifts his teammates up. I mean, Draymond is there to be a rising tide as far as how he plays. But I hear you. I mean, yes, he has benefited from, you know, his landing spot. He has made the most of it. But going back to Saginaw, Michigan State, he was a winner all the way through.
Yeah, I'm still kind of stuck on this struggle the Warriors must live and have been living, Sam, because I think Steph and Clay and Wiggins and Looney, all of them, to a man that have been on these championship teams, know what Draymond does for them in a positive way. Know that he makes Steph better. He makes those guys better. But those moments that you're talking about, this last game, the choking, it's not every night, but man, that struggle's got to be really hard on a day-to-day basis because it's not always predictable. It's not like, okay, here we go. We know what's happening. This is how we handle it. They're all kind of different on a night-to-night basis inside the season too.
Well, and that's where I guess I'll stick with going back to the Cousins comp that I said I didn't like. I mean, yes, that part of it right now does feel a little bit Cousins-esque when you talk about, you know, people within the organization being on pins and needles. You know, that's not a fun experience. I don't think it's an everyday thing for the Warriors, but just again that night, it's just clear that when push comes to shove, this team and really this organization doesn't have anybody, I don't think, that is truly going to get through to him right now. And I think Bob Myers actually was the closest thing to it. I think Steve knows that, like, listen, they just gave him 4 years and $100 million. They made the choice they made. And I understand it. And again, I'm a guy who thinks he's a, you know, first ballot Hall of Famer and is a wonderful player. And really, if you compare some of the stuff that has happened recently to earlier Draymond transgressions, I actually think there's a distinction, and these are even more troubling. Like if you go back to suspension game 5 of the finals,
yep,
I actually always was on the side of, you know what, if LeBron James steps over me, I might hit him in the nuts too. You know what I mean? Like that was not an egregious act. Now he got baited and he fell for it, sure. But, you know, absolutely knocking out Jordan Poole and dragging Rudy Gobert 10 feet across the floor. There's been a bit of an escalation that is counterintuitive. And this is something that Kenny Smith said on TNT the other day. It's counterintuitive because he's in his 30s with 4 rings and should not be at this stage right now.
Sam Amick joining us, and I want to end the interview this way. You know, I think it's important in journalism and in media because we don't see enough of this. You have to be accountable, and in this day and age of hot takes and hot opinions, I think it's important to go back and chide yourself. Jason, terrible job in this interview by you and me. Do you realize we fell into the very trap that we talked about yesterday? We have a national writer on, and what did we do? We spent more time on the Warriors than we did on the damn Kings. We were going off about First Take and everybody yesterday and how it was all about how does this affect Steph's legacy and what about Draymond? And we were like, the Kings played last night. I think Jason's the only one that asked a damn Kings question.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm sorry to jump in. I do love our visits when I watch the gymnastics that happen with the two of you who I love so much, so that you don't have to talk about the bad game the night before.
That game sucked, Sam.
Yeah, it did. It did. Everybody there, I can't in recent memory remember a game where like the media members that had what I called, I told one person, I was like, it was like in-season tournament hangover.
That's what it was. Everyone was hungover.
I mean, and even from like, I was exhausted. Like I played in the game. Everybody seemed to have that vibe, and yeah, it was not a good game for your home team.
By the way, just quick to point out as we break here, what a great week for Tims and media. You mentioned McMahon. How about Kawakami and the back and forth with Klay Thompson? That's you guys are becoming part of the story, Sam.
Well, that's not the goal, but yes, those are two good ones. Although I hate to admit it, man, you're gonna make me. I gotta go dig up the video. I still haven't watched the Kawakami video.
You really?
Yeah, I read his column. He wrote a good column on it, and to his credit, you talk about him being the story. Tim very quickly, like he actually defended Klay and was like, "This is what you want from Klay Thompson." But yes, I need to go see the video.
I know that Tim, and I like Tim, and Tim's got comes off smug at times. I get it. It's fine. Klay, well, we'll see what you think, but text me when you watch. I think Klay looked like an ass in the video, and I thought Tim came off very well. So
again, I like Klay a lot. Klay, Draymond, these guys are all like, they're, Steph's been a little more graceful with it, and it helps when you're playing so well. But, and I know we got to go. There's a lot of mid-30s players in the NBA right now really grappling with their own mortality.
Yeah.
It's there's a lot of that right now.
It happens.
Hot flashes, and next thing you know, all kinds of stuff going on. Wow. Sam, you're the best.
Your hairline's in good order, Dave. So
it looks good.
Thank you. Yeah, a haircut yesterday.
Nice.
All of them, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Hey, Sam, speaking of dinosaurs, one thing they just established yesterday is, I don't know if you read the report or not, is that the quietest animal in all of the dinosaurs to use the bathroom was the pterodactyl. Do you know why?
I'm afraid to ask why.
Because the pee was silent.
Really, Sam?
That was courtesy. And I love
courtesy.
him for it. It was courtesy, but I appreciate that as a fellow dad joke. Dad.
For what it's worth, as a writer and an alleged journalist, I couldn't spell pterodactyl.
I didn't know
the P was silent.
Sam, you're the best. See you next week. Thank you, brother.
All right, guys, have a good weekend. Thanks.
We will take a break. We go from pterodactyls to tearing down your doggy's system when it comes to the food that he or she eats. Carmichael Dave here for Supreme Source Super Premium Dog Food. Hey, organic seaweed, antioxidants, so much more that are good for your doggy's belly. We know that some dogs more than others. I got a French bulldog, and they're like the most high maintenance. They're finicky, and their bodies are finicky. And if you do something wrong, you're gonna have a Pumbaa, if you will, going on in your backyard. You don't want to do that. Safeway, Smart and Final, Winco, so many places you can get Supreme Source Super Premium Dog Food Bark Bark. And to learn more, go to supremesource.com. Remember, folks, it's what's best for your doggies. Take care of them on the inside as well as the outside. Supreme Source Super Premium Dog Food Bark Bark. Do more for your puppy's tummy than rub it. We'll take a break. When we come back, 4 down territory with the new NFL week starting tonight. We'll get to that next.
It's that time of year again. Sactown Sports is welcoming Santa back to town for the 40th annual Santa Parade, Saturday, December 9th in downtown Sacramento. Grab the family and join us as we celebrate Santa's arrival with marching bands, superheroes, cheer squads, and more. Parade starts at 10 a.m. at 14th and N. We'll see you Saturday, December 9th in downtown for the Santa Parade with Western Health Advantage, Huff Home Services, and the California National Guard. Get more information at SactownSports.com.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie. I'm Dirk Fedorn in the KCRA 3 Weather Center, and a mix of clouds expected through the day today. Temperatures will be warming into the lower 60s and the chance for some scattered showers in the morning and then again late in the afternoon. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
If the lights in your home flicker whenever you plug in the toaster or the breaker flips when you use the microwave, let us fix that. Bonnie's offering a free electrical panel inspection so you'll know exactly what's going on. Bonnie, plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
Who has the largest selection of golf merchandise in Northern California? The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. It's the go-to store for golf bags, apparel, equipment, lessons, club fittings, novelty items, and more. With their low price guarantee, complimentary gift boxes, and gift cards for your golfer, it's the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Add convenient online shopping and effortless after-Christmas return policy, and you'll see why the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
This is the moment you've been waiting for. Hanley's Kia in Davis is bringing you an unbeatable deal on all 2024 Kia models. Drive home in style without breaking the bank. Introducing Hanley's Kia incredible leasing option for just $199 a month. Picture yourself behind the wheel of a brand new 2024 Kia, loaded with the latest features and cutting-edge technology. Whether it's the sleek Niro Hybrid with 54 mpg and EV6 with up to 310 miles, the versatile Sportage, or the family-friendly Telluride, at Hanley's Kia, you can also reserve your luxurious full-size EV9 with 3 rows that has the comfort of a stylish interior and the peace of mind that comes with driving a brand you can trust. Head over to Hanley's Kia today, located in Davis.
New 2024 Kia Niro Hybrid EX for $199 per month for 36 months after $7,999 customer cash due at signing plus $300 military customer rebate. 10,000 miles per year and 20 cents per mile after 30,000 miles based on sale price $30,545 and payment excludes taxes and DMV fees and any dealer fees. Vehicle ID number R5136138. Amazon will be delivering packages to your house. Let Amazon deliver customers to your business. If that sounds good and you want more in 2024, simply text DIGITAL to 916-766-5105. Yep, 'tis the season. Hi, if you're like me, you take pride in your gift giving. Well, I've got a terrific idea for you. Gift cards from the Good Feet store. Okay, so arch supports aren't exactly what they've been hinting for, but you know they'd love them. And with the Good Feet lifetime warranty, it's a gift they'll enjoy forever. Buy a Good Feet gift card now, and Good Feet will boost its value 20%. That's a 20% gift free from the Good Feet store. If you have someone on your list who's on their feet all day, has sore feet, knee, hip, or back pain, or even plantar fasciitis, maybe needs an energy boost, or just wants to maintain their active lifestyle, a Good Feet arch support gift card could be the perfect gift.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Rolling Stones tickets coming up in the next segment. Got a couple of newsy notes for you. Number one, the November 28th, that's Monday, kids, Kings-Warriors matchup on the Taint was the most watched group play game in NBA in-season tournament history.
Wow.
Up 93% versus last year's comparable window. Averaged over 2 million viewers, whatever. Give us a Christmas Day game against a team that people will actually tune in to watch.
The Warriors.
No, they're old.
Oh.
We need an up-and-coming team. Everybody's tuning in for the Kings, obviously. Also, not funny. Sources say Dallas police are trying to get Von Miller to turn himself in. There's an active warrant for his arrest on an allegation of domestic violence. This is a developing story. The Buffalo Bills have released a statement. Quote, "This morning we were made aware of an incident involving Von Miller. We are in the process of gathering more information and will have no further comments at this point." So you hope all of that gets taken care of however it needs to be taken care of, and nobody gets hurt. Yeah, I don't know what to say to that. 4 down territory. No way to segue right into that, but we will. Football stuff. We'll start with Christopher Ladd. He's got first through fourth downs. And, hey, let me run something by you guys. What would you think about a rule change just to kind of count differently? Where, like, it's one of those things where I literally just thought it up. There's probably like a super good, obvious reason to not do it, but let's just talk it through for a second. What if they did away with first through fourth downs? Like, okay, so you make it third down, right? Okay. Now it's fourth and 10. And then you make it, and then it's like 9th down and 10th down and 11th down, just to like kind of talk up how long the drive is. But then you keep the yards to like keep it. You get rid of the whole go back to first down thing, and it's just you need 7 yards to complete the drive. Like, I feel like it would add a little bit of
confusion,
maybe, but wouldn't it add a little bit of gravitas? Like, dude, 15th down and 15th and goal. Like, what a drive by the Niners. 15 downs. They have 2 more for a record. And like, if there's penalties and stuff, you got to go back, and then that you get like 21st down.
But
my
you
God.
have to do like 15th out of 19th down. Like, is 15th first down? You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
like, well, whatever
How
it
will we
is.
know?
So, like,
and if it's there's a penalty, 5-yard penalty, still 14th down.
wow.
Resume.
Okay, but if it's like 9th and 3, and then you get, that's a 4-yard pickup, 10th down. It's 10th and 10. No. Yeah.
It's 11 and 3. They've got 2 chances to make this.
Hey, you know what? I look at this play. It's 16th down territory.
It is definitely 16th down territory.
I think this has so much potential.
Wow, what a dumb idea you had, Jason. Also, did we remember? Wasn't it like 2 years ago they were trying to call the red zone? What was it, like the gold zone or something? Why did I just think of that? They were trying to call the red zone something different. Like I think it was the gold zone or something, and I feel like that went away. That's not ringing any bells for anyone. I swear to God, I did not smoke weed and make this up. I am on heavy medication, but I did not come up with this out of the blue. They did. They called it the something else. Oh no, the red area, not the gold zone. They called it the red area instead of the red zone. No, or are you messing? You don't remember this?
I don't.
Someone remembers this, and they need to text in and be like, I got your
It's
back.
a shame that didn't stick around.
I didn't like it. I like 8th down a lot more.
So much potential.
I'm telling you, like, announcers would be like, yeah, well, he gets into the red area. And
It doesn't work when it's like 1st and 10, 12th play of the drive.
I mean, that's fine.
You like to count.
13th down.
Yeah.
13th and 8. This is 21st down territory. That kind of slammed the door on that whole thing. All right, Chris.
I'm kind of looking at some message boards.
Yeah.
And they're saying that they saw coaches would call it the red area.
Yeah.
And people kind of picked up on that.
And I remember hearing, like, there was a thing where, like, people started calling it stinking the red area. Like, a couple of announcers, I remember this is like last year or the year before, and then that just went away. And I just remember thinking, red area sounds stupid. Like, red area is a place you're not allowed to go in the building. All right, whatever. First down, Christopher Ladd.
Who you got tonight? Seattle or Dallas?
First and what?
11 down territory. No, I'll take Dallas. I mean, look, they're playing a mediocre team. They'll probably kick their butts.
Mediocre?
I mean, you know. Yeah. They had nothing for the Niners.
Yeah, neither one.
Neither one.
Yeah. Both lost to the Niners.
The Seattle game was actually closer.
It was.
Yeah.
So therefore,
I'm
taking Dallas as well. Dallas is at home. They've been playing better. I think I do think they're a good football team. I know people say they haven't beaten anybody. I get it, but I still think they're a good team.
I think they're
better than Seattle.
I do. I think they're better than Seattle. I think they're a first, maybe second round playoff team.
Okay.
You know, they'll do what they do. They'll get in and do their thing, and then, you know, oh, well, here's what we need, and then everybody will yell at Dak Prescott. Incidentally, the line on this game we told you earlier, it is still pretty big for Dallas. 9-point favorites in this matchup. Second down, please.
Does Brock Purdy have to outplay Jalen Hurts for San Francisco 49ers to win?
No, I don't think so. Now, he can't have some crap game. But look, Jalen Hurts is right now your presumptive NFL MVP for a lot of people. And Brock Purdy is, I'm sure, in most people's top 10, but towards the bottom of that top 10. I don't think he has to match him. I don't think he has to outplay him. I think Brock Purdy just needs to not lose this game and be a net positive. I think the 49ers have enough other weapons, especially on defense, I could see Jalen Hurts having a wonderful game and, on paper, and the Niners still winning this.
It's like we talked about earlier with the Kings, and like Sabonis needs to win the matchup with Zubats. If Brock Purdy wins the matchup,
oh God, yeah,
I'm sure there's a scenario where Philly wins, but it doesn't feel like it. I feel like Jalen Hurts is so important to their success. His legs, his ability to make plays in the fourth quarter, all these close games, he's been a huge factor in. So I wouldn't say he has to for the 49ers to win, but if he does, I don't think they lose.
I agree with you. I don't either. Yeah. I really, really don't. So be very, very interesting to see how all that works out. Third down, please.
Who do you think will be a key player for San Francisco on Sunday?
I'm going to cheat here, and I'm going to say key players. The secondary. It's the secondary. Now, you can say Charvarius Ward. You could say Diamador Lenore. You could say, even the safeties. That whole area. Because you're sitting there with Julio Jones and Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, and if we're seeing plays where maybe they're stuffing DeAndre Swift and they're spying Jalen Hurts well, and then it's 3rd and 7, and we just repeatedly see A.J. Brown with the 8-yard completion, Devontae, Smith, Julio Jones having a great game. They need to, they're not going to shut down the passing game, but don't make it a pea shooter, not a shotgun. No pun intended. Yeah.
I'm going to go with George Kittle in this reason. Why? Because I feel like they've won games when Purdy's played well and lost. Same with McCaffrey, Ayuk, Debo. It seems like when Kittle is good, like that's the really good version of the team. It's like they've got everything going. Like because usually the running game's going, the other receivers are going. But if Kittle also gets loose for, 5 or 6 catches, 80 yards, a touchdown in there, man, they seem like they're really, really dangerous. He's a tough cover in the league. He's a physical runner after the catch. So, I feel like George Kittle's always a key for them.
4th down, please.
What % chance do you give the 1-win Carolina Panthers to still win the NFC South?
They're not out of it. They are not out of it.
Isn't
that awful?
So awfully hilarious. The NFC South. The Falcons
5 wins is the lead.
And Saints are 5 and 6. The Bucks are 7 and 4, and the Panthers are 1 and 10. That means they are 4 games out with 6 games remaining.
They fired their coach. Here's their next 3 weeks, Dave. Buccaneers, Saints, Falcons. So everybody above them. Then they have the Packers, the Jags, and the Bucks again. So, if they obviously would have to sweep the Bucks, win those other division games, I don't know. It's a long shot, but
sure,
they should be so far eliminated. They have 1 win this late in the year, and they can win the division.
The only problem, there's a few problems.
They're not going to do it.
No, they're not. But when you're saying what percentage?
Yeah,
and that's fair. Like the Falcons, they play the Jets, the Bucks, the Panthers, the Colts, the Bears, and the Saints. And the Falcons in those games, the Falcons would have to go. Let's see, the best the Panthers could do
is
7 and 10. Which means that the Falcons would have to go 2 and 4 to match that over with that schedule if the Panthers went undefeated. I'm going to give it I know exactly what the percentage is. It's 8.3%.
Oh wow. Yeah. I had it at 5.69.
Ah, way low, dude.
I was way off.
It's like Allen style. Way off. We'll take a break. When we come back, who's hot, who's not? We'll recap 3 in the key from last night. Woof is right. And don't call yet. Rolling Stones tickets. We'll get to that next.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type GM of the Year.
The Rolling Stones, live. Stones Tour 24, Hackney Diamonds. Presented by AARP. July 17th, Levi Stadium. The Rolling Stones. The greatest rock and roll band in the world. Tickets on sale Friday, December 1st at 10 a.m. at rollingstones.com. Your chance to see the Stones.
Winter is coming. I know you know that, but are you prepared to keep your family warm all season long? At American Energy Heating and Air, their goal is to exceed your expectations of the heating and air industry by valuing the customer experience and making your home comfort system as efficient as possible for the most value. So book your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. Prevent dangerous gas leaks. Extend the life of that furnace and save on your energy bills. And here's the guarantee. This isn't a sales call. They're not getting in the door so they can try to sell you a bunch of stuff. No, they're just going to do what they say they're going to do. Call today to schedule an appointment at 916-520-9990 or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A-plus Better Business Bureau rating. Get your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. 916-520-9990. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam team, Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com. What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
Hello. Who is hot?
Lionel Messi.
Lionel.
Yeah, specifically his game-worn matches from the World Cup last year. There is an opening bid for 6 of his game-worn shirts, started at $5.2 million.
Golly.
The auction ends on December 14th, so that probably will not be the winning bid.
I got a question about game-worn shirts. For example, that one. Do they wash them?
No.
Do you know this?
I've seen the pictures of it. There's like dirt stains and stuff on there.
Okay. I would think they wouldn't. Now, let me ask you something. If Chris, in some world, I know you don't have 5 million lying around here, but let's say, well, maybe he does. That's true. He has worked here for a while.
That's it.
Let's say that somehow someone gifted you in the Miami organization a game used Lionel Messi jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And you get it in the mail. I don't even know how they just put it in plastic or something. I don't know. Okay, so you're mounting it on the frame or on your whatever you're going to do to display it, right? By the way, do you mount it in a frame? Do you get one of those like mannequin dummies and like have it on a stand in a room? Like what would you do with a game worn Lionel Messi jersey?
I would frame it.
You frame it.
Yes.
Okay.
Frame it with a picture of him at that game.
But here's the problem.
I would pay for Messi to wear it.
Just to stand in the corner?
Yeah.
Here's the thing,
I would pay him to wash it because I don't even know if he knows how to wash clothes.
Probably not.
Really?
Now, well, I mean, when has he ever had
to wash clothes?
No, he was brought to Barcelona at 12.
Oh,
guarantee he has never washed his clothes.
So let's say that so you got the jersey, and like most, you got Messi on the back and his number and all that. But let's say there's
that's why he's Messi.
Yeah, exactly, because he doesn't clean. But what if there's like grass stains and stuff on the front of the jersey or on the side of the jersey? So my question is, you'd frame it, but what if in the course of framing it, you're covering up the dirt, right?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So I almost think the mannequin's the way to go, weirdly enough, at least the top of it, so that you could have this on display. Second question, and then we'll move on. Be honest here. This is a safe space. And I'll tell you right now what my answer would be. when you get it, whether you're framing it or whatever.
Yes.
What am I about to ask?
Would you smell it?
And my answer is hell yes. Of course you would, right? You got to smell it just out of curiosity.
Purely curiosity.
Would you be more surprised? Okay, last question. Would you be more surprised if you had a game-worn Lionel Messi jersey and you smelled it? Would you be more surprised if A, you smelled it and you're like, wow, it smells kind of like Downy ball, maybe a little bit of grass. Like that's a pleasant smell for a jersey that was worn for an entire game. Or you smell it and you're like, oh my God, has he heard of deodorant? Jesus, it smells like
a football locker room.
Right. It's like cheese in an onion field. Like, what is this? Which would surprise you more?
The smelling.
The
smelling bad.
If it smelled bad.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with that.
There's like cologne on it.
I feel like Lionel Messi just, like, he doesn't even shower. He just rubs, like, he has rose petals rubbed on him, and then he's coated in olive oil. And
nice sheen.
Yeah, nice sheen. Like Charlie Sheen on him. Yeah. All right, who's not?
The Detroit Pistons are not hot.
Made history last night.
Terrible.
They lost 133-107 to the Lakers. It's their 15th loss in a row. The Pistons are now 2-16. And if they don't win tonight against the Knicks in New York, the Pistons will go winless in the month of November.
Well, they can get Wembanyama next year.
Well, fun trivia question for you, Dave. Who are the two teams that the Pistons won?
This is great. Who are the two teams they defeated?
Isn't it randomly, like, good? Wait, is Orlando one?
No. I somehow...
Indiana?
No. I somehow came up with it, and, like, Jason immediately said that I cheated.
Yeah, I mean, I asked him the question out of nowhere, so there was no lead in. I'm like, oh, Detroit. I think last week when you were going, I'm like, oh, they're 2-12, whatever they were. Oh, Chris, you happen to know the two teams? And then he said 2, and I was looking at him like, wait, he got him exactly right. All the NBA teams, he just threw out 2 teams. He got them right.
That does feel like cheating. But then how do you cheat on that?
Yeah.
The Bulls and the Hornets.
Yeah, but he got it right.
How did you even get that right?
I remember, obviously it was early on. I remember them beating the Hornets, and then it was the next one was a complete guess. I was like, I don't know, it's probably someone good or good-ish. Bulls.
Imagine being the Hornets of the Bulls right now.
Yeah, well.
Does that speak more to Vlade's tenure too? Then, by the way, is that?
Would you want to play them right now? Though, be the Kings like, oh, they lost 16, 15 in a row.
Like honestly,
at some point they're going to win.
I kind of honestly do though. Like I'm tired of playing. Can we get like some lame team to come in here, even though we just lost to a below 500 team? But you know what I mean?
Yeah, they've only played the East one game.
Yeah, that is. That's a weird.
Do you remember who that was?
It was the Bears.
Yes,
in Milwaukee,
Cleveland Cava Bears.
Cleveland Cava Bears at home. Not for nothing, and this isn't the time to talk about it, but can we just acknowledge that the Orlando Magic are 13-5 and have won 8 in a row?
Yeah, hottest team in the league. Here they go.
What the hell?
Yeah,
and they're having fun. See that alley-oop last night? The Wade LeBron recreation. They're having a blast. They're way ahead of schedule.
They remembered what they were supposed to do, and that was have a blast.
I mean, what is the deal? Like 13-5 isn't like, well, they started 5-1. Like 13-5 is a chunk.
Yeah. Hey, they're almost to 20, right? A quarter of the season.
Yeah, and 2 of their starters, Fultz and Wendell Carter Jr. have missed quite a bit of time.
Where are they?
They're missing. They're hanging out with Domantas Sabonis' offense.
Too soon.
Wow, is that too soon?
Yeah.
We already said who's not. Let's recap 3 in the key. 3 in the key brought to you by Failure. That's right. Failure, it's what's on the menu last night at Golden One, but it's farm to fork failure. Oh! I have an announcement to make. I want to acknowledge. Would you mind hitting the breaking news theme here real quick? Sorry, I know you just started one thing, but this is
when
important.
It breaks,
we have it first.
It's Sactown Sports breaking news.
I'm so proud of all of you, the show, everybody involved and all that. You know, as we know, and I don't like to pull this card out a lot, but as you know, Jason, I drove an RV around the country, and because of that and that alone, the team stayed. That's a fact.
100%.
Right? 100%. Once again, public protest has worked It has come through, and I'm very happy, as many of you know, I'm very happy to announce the yellow K above the team store is now a purple K. That lasted all of like 3 days. The yellow K out of the people raised their voices. They let themselves be heard in a respectful manner. And the yellow K overnight was switched to a purple K, which now makes it a very special K. So congratulations,
Is there a chance that the gold was used as a base?
Now
it was always supposed to be purple?
No, there's not a chance. It was 100% yellow.
Oh,
and then we had meetings and things, high level meetings,
highest of level.
Somebody took a picture of me outside of Golden One yesterday, like one of those random spy photos talking to Monty, just randomly. By the way, I'm looking a little fat in that picture. I'm not saying that's what we were meeting about, was the purple K, but I'm not saying that's not what we were meeting about.
We got it done.
Ross. Yes, protests can work sometimes. Yeah. All right, back to the. Thank God. You think that might have been the base? It's not a real sleigh.
It's like, wow, that got changed pretty quickly. Wait, maybe that was some
base coat.
It's not a bunny Easter. Stupid. All right, 3 in the key.
All right, let's recap how we did. Did we do better than the Kings last night? We had a prediction day between you, me, and Chris about Kings free throws. It was a problem against the Warriors.
Yeah.
Well, that was a positive last night. It was better. Sure. Dave, you said 14 of 22. I said 21 of 26. Chris said 15 of 21. Basically, your same answer right there, right on it.
Yeah.
Kings were 24 of 28.
That's actually better.
Yeah.
I'll take 24 and 28 any night of the week.
I will too.
Who got that, Chris?
Me. 21 of 26.
Oh, there you go. Okay, very good.
Thank you.
There you go.
That was a base coat. All right, Kings bench points we asked for. Dave, you said 38. I said 39. Chris said 32. They had 43.
Wow, Jason Ross on a heater.
Dave, random stat.
Yeah.
You said Kevin Huerter would have a dunk. Kevin Huerter did not have a dunk.
Are you sure?
Certain.
I heard a rumor that he
But
did.
I can't dunk.
But I can't dunk.
I said Harrison Barnes would make all of his shot attempts. Harrison Barnes took 7 shots. He made 3. That's not all of them.
Well, you know what, though, Jason? Had you said, instead of Harrison Barnes will make all of his shots, had your prediction, which, by the way, I admit would have been incredibly random, but had you said Zion Williamson will make all of his shots, you would have almost been right. Got to point this out, by the way. 33 points, 11 of 12 from the field, 11 of 12 from the line.
Get them all out now.
Yeah, he's coming here Monday.
Well,
CJ McCollum back
yeah,
too.
They got 20 points for him last night, coming back from the collapsed lung, which, can I just say, sounds terrible.
Yeah. Put it back together.
Yeah, put it back. Yeah, exactly.
The right way.
Check its blood sugar, make sure it stands upright. I don't want that injury whatsoever.
No thanks.
Who was the catcher like 20 years ago who had wasn't it a ruptured testicle off a foul ball? That's the worst one I've ever. Well, like, I'm aware that like a guy died on a hockey rink recently. I'm talking about like in-game like injuries, not like mortifying situations.
You asked a catcher which you would rather have.
I remember Stephen Vogt got hit there and was rolling, like writhing in pain.
I can't imagine.
You totally understand why.
Like, and there's a weird thing, and I don't know, I think most guys do this, but a lot of times when you talk about trauma in that area, like instinctively will either close or cross their legs. It's like completely subliminal.
Yeah.
I can't imagine not just getting hit there, but you just ruptured a berry.
Yeah.
That's the worst injury ever.
It is.
Worse than I'd rather get shot in the leg.
Chris's random stat was James Harden with a triple single. Well, James Harden had 26 points, 3 boards, 6 assists.
So I got 2 out of the 3.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Did you also see that? I don't know what it is about this team having crappy games. we almost had a puke guy part 2. Somebody spilled a butt ton of beer, and I want to say it was either in the exact same seats or it wasn't the exact same. It was either there or the ones right now, same side of the court, the center court seats.
But it wasn't puke, though.
No,
right?
it wasn't puke, but like they had to stop the game down and clean up this giant mess. And then you look at it like who it are. It was an older couple. So I imagine there was no, That's what it would sound like. We'll take a break when we come back. Niners at 9. Let's check ahead and see who they have on the schedule this week.
Not certain.
And you know what? Let's not screw around. First caller, 1-800-920-1140. First caller, 1-800-920-1140. It's a race to the phone. Rolling Stones tickets for you. Call the Folsom Lake Honda hotline right now. Looking for caller number 1 to win a pair of tickets to experience the Rolling Stones July 17th, 2024 at Levi Stadium. For more information, visit SactownSports.com. When we come back, Niners at 9.
Two of the best the NFL and NFC has to offer meet Sunday in Philadelphia.
Purdy out of the shotgun, looks left, throws end zone. Caught! George Kittle in the back of the end zone.
It's the Philadelphia Eagles, owners of the top spot in the NFC, versus the San Francisco 49ers, who have had this game circled on their calendar for months. Join Greg Papa and Tim Ryan for all the exciting action Sunday at 1 on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Wells Fargo presents one of the surest ways to grow your money. A Wells Fargo CD account, where you can earn a 5.00% annual percentage yield on an 11-month term with a minimum opening deposit of $5,000. Visit a Wells Fargo branch or wellsfargo.com/CD rates to open a CD account and start growing your savings with us.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
There are good gifts, and then there are great gifts. I just shopped at Kohl's, and let me tell you, I found some really great gifts. And all for less, like 50% off Cuddle Duds bedding, a Ninja Blast portable blender for under $60, and 30% off toys. Then I got 20% off some of my finds, and I earned Kohl's cash. Don't just take it from me. Hurry to Kohl's to get the best gifts for everyone on your list. Select styles, toys, coupons do not apply. Some exclusions apply. Offers end December 6th. 20% off valid through December 10th. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Yep, 'tis the season. Hi, if you're like me, you take pride in your gift giving. Well, I've got a terrific idea for you. Gift cards from the Good Feet store. Okay, so arch supports aren't exactly what they've been hinting for, but you know they'd love them. And with the Good Feet lifetime warranty, it's a gift they'll enjoy forever. Buy a Good Feet gift card now, and Good Feet will boost its value 20%. That's a 20% gift free from the Good Feet store. If you have someone on your list who's on their feet all day, has sore feet, knee, hip, or back pain, or even plantar fasciitis, maybe needs an energy boost, or just wants to maintain their active lifestyle, a Good Feet Arch Support gift card could be the perfect gift.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Sactown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then
boom, with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
All right, we're going to do a little quick experiment here.
I say no.
So I don't even know. I don't even know if I saved it. I'm sure I can find it, though. Anyways, occasionally, Jason and I will find something.
You found this one.
I found this one. And
not safe for air.
And our question always is, has Christopher Long seen this yet? Because Chris has pretty much seen it.
A lot of times Chris sends us these things.
Okay. So we're going to do Niners at 9 here. I'm going to walk in there real quick because it's like 10 seconds.
Okay.
And I'm going to play the first part of it. It's just a Hall & Oates.
Well, you have to get to the part.
Yes. Well, I can't play that part.
Not over the air.
No,
but
because it's...
Yeah, we'll hear Chris laugh if he has seen it. All right. So,
or do you want to send it to me?
Well,
you can do it live. You can do it.
Yeah, but then how will we hear him laugh? Because
we can hear Chris. He can turn the mic on for a second if he's laughing. If he's not, I mean, we do have Niners at 9 coming up. So I think Dave thinks Chris has seen it. I say Chris hasn't. I know this isn't helpful to anybody out there, but I'm going to take a look and see if I can get a reaction.
I've seen it.
Oh, Chris has seen it. He knew it. Oh, you better pause it there. Yeah. Okay. He's still playing it? You can't play at that part. Yeah. Okay. He's seen it.
I see that.
Yet still laughs.
Yeah.
I had never seen it until today.
I had never seen it either.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
that's like a few years old.
Is it?
Yeah.
Somebody did a Hall & Oates parody, which, by the way, you guys following this whole Hall has a restraining order against Oates?
No.
I'm not joking.
Made up. I thought it was Holland.
Hall & Oates. You thought they were one person. No, there's like a whole lawsuit going, and then there was a restraining order as a part of it. And
wow, private eyes.
They're watching you. Yeah.
Oates a man-eater?
Apparently, the mystery. Oh, good. Update. The mystery has now been solved. A Tennessee judge ordered all details unsealed. Daryl Hall is attempting to block his longtime musical partner from selling his share in their joint venture to Primary Wave Music.
Good at business.
But I don't understand. It's an indisputable breach of contract, and it's like a restraining order against the sale. It sounded like when they said he had a restraining order that like Oates was showing like, Daryl, get back together. Come on. Like he was a jilted lover or something. Oh, they just don't want him to sell the stuff.
Okay.
You're a friend. Gotcha.
Good at business.
All righty. I am not. If my blood pressure was like a prairie or something. So like I am right now at like an elevate. I'm in the foothills. I'm like, there's a little bit of elevation, but not a lot. My ears haven't popped yet when it comes to the Eagles and Niners.
So kickoff time, you're in the mountains.
Honestly, like,
or in live copter.
When I wake up in the morning, I'm in. Like when I go to bed. Well, Saturday's going to be for championship.
You got
Florida
stuff,
State and all that. Yeah, I got to
but
deal with that. And the Nuggets, and
you'll be at the Kings game, and then you'll be like, "What do I got? Oh my god!
Yes.
Tomorrow is Niners Eagles."
I will go to bed thinking that, and then I will wake up.
The alarm will sound
Sunday morning.
Yeah,
that alarm, and you know the thing that sucks is like the 10 a.m. games.
Wait for the varsity at 1.
Right. What are we doing here? And my wife was telling me like, oh, by the way, Mason has a basketball tournament this week. See how I looked at the clock?
Yeah.
Mason has a basketball tournament this weekend in Calusa. 3-day tournament in Calusa. They're not staying there. Can you? Nope.
You can go to the first 2 games.
Yeah, I'm not like
Sunday.
I love my kid, but yeah, I'm not watching dumb basketball over this year's regular season Super Bowl.
Screwed.
Yeah, shoot the ball the right way and let me know how you did, kiddo. But in the morning time though, oh hey, Jason. Let's say it's a Sunday ticket thing.
Yeah.
Which of these matchups are you choosing? Well, I guess Broncos Texans, but let's pretend that doesn't exist. Let's say it's
still not that appealing.
That's the game. Because here's your other choices. You got to pick one, dude. So let's play a game of King of the Hill. So right now on top of the hill, Colts and Titans. That's the champion.
Okay, easy to knock that off. Okay.
Let's see. Would the Chargers and Patriots knock that off?
I'm not knocking that off.
Okay. I'm pretty sure Lions Saints in New Orleans. Okay.
That knocks it off.
That's the new King of the Hill.
Okay.
Falcons Jets.
Doesn't do it.
Okay. Lions and Saints still the champion. Ooh. Cardinals Steelers.
Nope.
Okay. Well, Dolphins and Commanders.
Like we're getting half the answers on all these. Nope.
So we're left with Lions and Saints at the top of the hill, at the top of the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Do the Broncos and Texans knock it off? Knock it off.
Let's
kick it. Let's kick it.
I feel like that's really close. I feel like there's more appeal to the Lions Saints for some reason. I know the record might be better.
Russell Wilson versus CJ Stroud.
Right.
World Series of Love.
This is his birthday yesterday. Let Russ cook.
Yeah, that's your mornings. And then all you have in the afternoons, you have 3 games.
It's time to do some stuff around the house.
Right?
Sunday morning.
Maybe it's time.
Chores.
Maybe smoke a brisket.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
Panthers, Bucks, Browns, Rams, and then Niners, Eagles. So they're really kind of
There's one game.
Yeah. There's one game all Sunday. And here's the thing. If the Niners win this game.
Yeah. I know you're excited, but how are you feeling Monday about just the NFC landscape? Because you still need them to lose at least another game to be the 1 seed. At least.
I'm trying to think if throw records out the window. If I was a Niner fan, would I?
You are.
That's true. Throwing records out. Just in this scenario here to help. This is how I try to help think myself through this stuff. Like, would I trade the 1 seed for a Niner regular season win in Philadelphia and we're the 2 seed? Or you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Well,
I lose to Philly, but I'm the 1 seed.
Yeah, I don't think this is quite Kings Warriors, right? Like they played one time last year and the Eagles won, and there's a pretty good reason why.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. I think the Niners were going to beat them. That was my gut going in. Game was never played to its full completion.
Yeah.
The Eagles won. They deserve to win.
Yes, they did.
If the Niners were to win and they end up as a 2 or a 3 or a 4 seed, they'll know that at least they've won in Philly when both teams were healthy. And I think they know they could do it again. It won't be easy to do again. So I think it would be really beneficial for the 49ers to win if it doesn't even get them the 1 seed ultimately, because then they know they can go back there and do it again.
It also makes you wonder too, is that what if you only have 1 win in Philly? Because let's be honest,
What if you only have what? 1 win in Philly?
1 win in you. Like for the Niners, they can only be. Here's what I mean by that, because they're almost certainly, not almost certainly, but very likely, no matter what happens Sunday, they're very likely going to have to go through Philly. Yeah. Philly's still going to probably be the number 1 seed. So it's like you also start thinking about like, oh God,
do we use it up now or later?
Yeah, can you beat them twice in a row in Philly?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the one argument to say for winning now is, maybe Philly gets knocked off by someone else. I mean, it's just the way football works. You might not see it and you go, wow, the Cowboys got them, or Carolina won their last 5 games and made it in and somehow got through, and you just never know. But
I will tell you this. If the Niners win on Sunday, I'm just telling you where my brain's automatically going to go. My brain's automatically going to go, okay, that's awesome. We still need help from Philly, and God, can we beat them twice? And can we beat them again there? And
what if it's like convincing, like what they did to Dallas?
Okay, that's a difference. I think if they trounce,
which
Philly,
I would be surprised.
And I think if they lose to Philly, my brain's automatically it's not going to go where you think. I think if they lose to Philly, my brain's going to, and let's assume it's, a single digits, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. They don't get trounced. If they lose to Philly in Philly this weekend, I think my brain's automatically going to go to, okay, well, you know what? They got some work to do, but we're going to get them again in the put. Like, weirdly enough, if they lose, I'm going to try to have a positive outlook. And if they win, it's like a not too high, not too low.
Yeah.
Like I'm going
to your safety net. You're regulating things.
That's exactly right. I'm regulating things. Regulators mount up. Love that we're the same age bracket there. But who does this? This game means more for the Niners than it does Philly, right?
I think so. I'm going back to them talking. I didn't. That's the only thing I haven't really liked about the Niners in the last.
I agree with you.
They lost. I get it. You wish you had Purdy. You didn't.
Yep.
But they yapped about it a little too much for my liking, and I'm going to probably defend the Niners more than I care about the Eagles.
Sure.
Like, why you let that go? Not let it go. You can hang on to it.
Yeah.
But why are you talking about it in the media? Why are you letting us know that you're like, we were better. We're the better team. Like, just go prove that.
Yeah. What is it about Bay Area teams when they lose? They always have to make excuses up.
So it just sets up things where if you did lose, then what?
Yeah, that's the thing. Honestly, and by the way, you better go back it up.
Right.
You better back it up.
And I don't think there's a ton of shame in losing on the road to Philadelphia. He's got one loss, but I think you've kind of put that out there to put way more pressure on yourselves.
It's interesting, man. You look at the.
But I think each team's gone through this. I think the Eagles game like that was 2 weeks ago against Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
That's who they lost to in the Super Bowl. They want to beat the Niners, but I think their game was Kansas City. They beat them. Niners game is this week. That's the one when the schedule came out, we all saw it. Like, oh man, Papa's mentioning, can you imagine week 13? Well, here we are.
Here we are. Fun thing to try to do. We'll do this with Papa tomorrow, though. There is such a wide range of opinions on going beat by beat who has the better offense. Like when you go we go Brock Purdy versus Jalen Hurts. Well, God, it seems like they have a huge advantage with Jalen, but do they?
I don't think they have a huge advantage.
You go Christian McCaffrey, DeAndre Swift.
I think advantage Niners, but I don't think
seems like it's a huge, but not really. Let's look at the Ayuk, Samuel, Jennings, Kittle. No, hold on. Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel. No, I'm not. Okay, yeah, you're right. Juwan Jennings. Okay, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Julio Jones.
Yeah.
Tight end, they have an advantage, but still, Dallas Goedert's workable.
Yeah.
Offensive line.
Both good.
The Niners have the best offensive lineman of either team, but I think the Eagles' line is probably better.
Rookie kicker versus Elliott, who makes kicks in the wind and rain from 59 to tie a game.
And then, by the way, the Eagles have some dogs on their defensive line, too. Yeah. And they have a better secondary.
Makes for a good game.
Oh, my God. I can't. Okay. I need to get out of the mountains.
Okay.
Down into the foothills. We'll take a break. When we come back, let's hear from De'Aaron Fox and Mike Brown, their post-game reaction from last night. And I promise it's the last time we'll bring up last night again ever in the world. We'll take a break. We're right back.
Two of the best the NFL and NFC has to offer meet Sunday in Philadelphia.
Purdy out of the shotgun, looks left, throws end zone. Caught! George Kittle in the back of the end zone.
It's the Philadelphia Eagles, owners of the top spot in the NFC, versus the San Francisco 49ers, who have had this game circled on their calendar for months. Join Greg Papa and Tim Ryan for all the exciting action Sunday at 1 on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
At Elk Grove Honda, we make sure every certified pre-owned Honda is one we'd buy from ourselves. At Elk Grove Honda, in addition to our lower prices, we include many benefits that a private seller just can't match. Our Honda-trained technicians only certify our Hondas if they pass a thorough 182-point inspection, and our certified pre-owned Hondas are under 5 years old, so you know you're getting the newest Hondas in prime condition. See our exceptional selection of lower-priced certified pre-owned Hondas in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Sactown Sports is home to the Kings, Niners, and now the business of sports. Hosted by Kelly Brothers and brought to you by Cap Trust, offering customized, independent financial advice at captrust.com. Join Kelly Brothers, Carmichael, Dave, and Jason as they look at the business of sports every Thursday at 7:40 a.m. You want to know how sports really work? Follow the money with Kelly Brothers from Cap Trust on Sactown Sports.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say. He's good at what he does.
On Sactown Sports.
I'm not going to share everything we were just talking about, but I feel perfectly comfortable in thinking that and saying that you, me, Chris, we're all talking during the break. We were just randomly praising Gary Gerald.
Oh, man.
Just
so
random.
good. Like, the other night they won. That call was amazing. Like, he was great last night. The team wasn't. He was.
Yeah, of course he was.
Every night.
You know who brought it? G-Man.
Yes. Every night.
Isn't it funny? Whenever G-Man gets brought up, everyone immediately is just like, oh, man, how amazing is G-Man? He's the absolute best person.
You know who I want to find? Okay, let me ask you guys a serious question. Is there a person on earth that's like, oh, don't talk to me about him? Do not talk to me about that man.
I haven't met them.
I don't think, like,
we were told about one
that exists. Huh? I feel like that doesn't exist. Imagine being somebody who's so rad, there's not a person in the world that dislikes you. That's Gary Gerald.
Yeah.
Like, not anyone. Although, again, I think it'd be kind of hilarious if, like, he vacationed in Australia in 1974 and, like, accidentally bumped somebody at the airport. And they're like, oh.
Crikey, you again. You thought I forgot about you, didn't you?
Well, apparently there is somebody.
And, like, to this day, like, they somehow found out, like, that Gary became the play-by-play voice.
Yeah.
And
I recognize that voice.
That's not a voice.
They tell all their friends anytime, like, oh, the Kings. Yeah, I know the play-by-play guy. He's a real a-hole.
I need a ticket to America.
I just want to pour Foster's over his head.
Been saving money for years.
He finally gets here one day. He's also 80s. He's like, I made it. Where is he? Wah, wah, wah. They're just a standoff.
You know, after listening to that call, mate, you're not half bad.
Changed my mind.
I changed my mind.
Oh, my God.
I'm going home.
Did we just construct our own small film?
Yes.
That
does need to be. Where's Nate?
Where is,
Nate can put that to a film.
Do you think
with
Nate,
bubbles?
Does Nate have the technical capabilities to CGI or whatever he needs to do? Like, so the guy shows up from Australia, Gerald.
And Gerald.
And then G-Man's on the other side. And they're staring.
Gerald versus Gerald.
Like a tumbleweed goes by, right? And then the guy, do you think Nate has a capability? Because I would find a way to fund the whole project. If Nate could find a way to very easily have like G-Man throw a Jean-Claude Van Damme like slow-mo roundhouse kick and like literally hits the guy and you see him like float through the air and land back in Australia.
But he's a boomerang. He comes back.
And then G-Man is walking off in the sunset, a little Swisher Sweet in the corner of his mouth. And there's one hair sticking straight up and he licks his finger, puts it back down and walks back into the sunset.
He's got the bucket. Kicks him into a bucket.
He kicked the bucket. That's great.
Yeah.
We just
made a film.
That was more entertaining than last night's game.
It was.
That was absolutely insane.
De'Aaron Fox spoke post-game, one of the very few Kings that remembered there was an NBA game last night. He talked to the media.
You have to have, short-term memory. You have to
with games like this, obviously you want to know what you can do better. But obviously, when you don't get the result that you want, or if you get blown out, you have to let it go, because obviously we have 2 days in between games here, but usually you probably have a day off and then a game right after that. So you're not able to really just mourn a loss like this. The NBA is constantly going. It's a revolving door of games. And obviously you want to learn from your losses. You want to learn from your wins, but you can't dwell on it. You gotta let it go, because if you don't, then it can continue to stockpile in 5, 6, 7 losses in a row. And when that happens in a season, it's hard to turn around.
You mentioned the defensive struggles and, forcing just 7 turnovers tonight. Like, where specifically do you feel like you guys should have been better?
I mean, we just have to be better active hands, pressuring the ball. Obviously, they have a lot of guys who go into isolations and things of that nature, but we just have to be able to be disruptive, be physical, try to keep them off the free throw line, and just do whatever we can to disrupt their offense. I think it was a lot of easy catches, guys just being able to get to their spot and shooting over guys. And like I said, that's an extremely talented team. And if they're able to just pick their spots and shoot the ball, then, you're going to have a tough time winning.
Darren, this is the second 40-point game for you, and both times I thought it was kind of quiet. Like, you quietly, like, you look up and there you are at 40. Is that part of the game, like, coming to you maybe easier or more effortlessly than it used to?
That's what happens when you make your free throws, because I didn't even. No, I mean, what was the other game? What was the other 40-point game? We were up. I was gonna say, like, I think we were clawing back, so I kind of I'm a little more aggressive, but no, I mean, I'm continuing to try to be a better player, try to be a more efficient player. So whenever I have my shots, obviously there are times where I have to make difficult shots, but whenever my teammates or Domas or whoever it is getting me open, I have to be able to knock that down. And then when I get to the free throw line as many times as I have to be able to put the ball in the basket. So it's nothing that I'm like conscious of or anything like that, but I feel like I'm continuing to get better as a player.
That was De'Aaron Fox, who showed up last night.
40.
And it pisses me off because it's a one guy where it's like, if he doesn't show up, like, I want him to show up. And honestly, if he was, let's be fair, if he was 4 of 15 last night for 18 points, you'd be like, well, if De'Aaron had shown up, maybe they would have won the game. But I feel like if your team leader, who's missed a lot of time due to a hurty ankle, which I'm sure is still hurty on some level, and he shows up and he plays 38 minutes, which, by the way, is kind of questionable in that aspect, but whatever. I'm saying, I don't know if I'd have played him 38. Then I just kind of look around and I'm like, guys, your guy is out here killing himself. And I'm not saying they weren't trying, and I'm not saying, like, nobody was tanking or was like, oh, I don't care, I want to go watch cartoons. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But, like, all of you sucked. Like, all of you sucked.
Together. Same night.
Together. You made a giant freaking wind tunnel and a suckitude, and the one guy is your guy. I just feel like, I don't know. De'Aaron Fox. Help. Yeah, a little help. He needs a little help from his friends.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just like you need a little help from your friends when you're looking to buy a vehicle for the winter, something that's not going to get blown off the road, something that's not going to look at a little bit of rain or snow and go, oh, I don't like the rain or snow. No, I'm talking about a hoblet vehicle, and right now they're in the middle of Ram Power Days and Jeep Adventure Days. Let me get started on the Ram 1500 crew cabs. No payments for 90 days. Save up to $16,500 off MSRP, up to $6,500 off MSRP on the new 2023 Dodge Charger and Challenger GT and SXT. Save up to $16,000 when you lease a new 2024 Jeep Wrangler Sport S4 by E. That is the plug-in hybrid. My wife and I are seriously, she's looking at those because we like to go up the hill. That's why we got the Jeep, the Pollock Pines area where it's about to get snowy. But what we've learned very quickly is going from Roseville to Pollock Pines in a Jeep, it's like a half tank of gas, dude. I roll my car out and I just plug it in when I get to the house. These Jeep plug-in hybrids, pretty cool. Unbeatable prices at Hoblet. Unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet. Period. Get up there and tell me good buddy Carmichael Dave sent you. We'll take a break. When we come back, what to watch tonight? We'll also hear from Coach Mike. Screw it. We don't need to hear from Coach Brown. No offense to him. And the developing NFL story you've all been waiting for. We'll do that next.
What's the latest with the San Francisco 49ers? Carmichael, Dave, and Jason Ross keep you up to date on all things red and gold during the Niners at 9 every weekday at 9 a.m. on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned certified cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our certified cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win. Unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion, persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit KHTK.com.
The 49ers Report, brought to you by EB Stone. EB Stone, for the life of your garden. The 49ers feasted on Seattle for Thanksgiving, dominating their bitter rivals on the road, 31-13. Running back Christian McCaffrey led the way with 139 scrimmage yards and 2 touchdowns on 24 touches. San Francisco is now 8-3 on the season. The Red and Gold have an extra 3 days rest before heading to Philadelphia for a pivotal NFC rematch with the league leaders Sunday afternoon.
Celebrating over a century as a family-owned business, EB Stone has gathered invaluable insights into nurturing plant growth. Venture into indoor planting with EB Stone's Edna's Best indoor and outdoor potting soil. Watch your little plants flourish into ideal indoor companions for the whole family to relish during the holidays. EB Stone's indoor and outdoor potting soil is a meticulously crafted blend of essential ingredients. Your plants will thrive both indoors and outdoors. Trust EB Stone for the entire lifespan of your garden. Explore more gardening tips, products, and find nearby locations at ebstone.org. Wishing you a season filled with joy and flourishing greenery.
If you're a business owner, Mercedes-Benz of Stockton invites you to take advantage of a 4.9% APR for up to 36 months on select 2023 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter vans. And since new Sprinters qualify for the Section 179 tax deduction, you can save up to $6,000 on your new Sprinter. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, sales, service, and a dedicated commercial van department to help your company with any job. mbofstockton.com.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
All right, we got to talk about this, man. How the hell does it take Kevin Durant 18 months to come back from Achilles, and Aaron Rodgers has just been cleared for football activities? That's insane. 11 weeks.
Weirdo. Party of one.
I get it. I'm not a doctor.
He hasn't played yet.
He hasn't played yet. You're right. And maybe, I don't know, maybe Kevin Durant had a shredding and Aaron Rodgers' Achilles tear was clean. I don't know. And
was it his surgery like something new too?
Durant?
No.
Aaron?
Aaron. I want to say it was a new procedure.
But we have to talk about this, and also we have to acknowledge the fact. You just got to acknowledge it, man. If Aaron Rodgers ends up coming back and playing this year, and playing obviously a lot earlier than any of us thought he would, this is really gonna usher in a whole thing about like. This is really going to usher in a whole thing about like go to dark retreats, don't take the vaccine, take mushroom, like all the stuff that Aaron does. Isn't he like going to be like this super god healing person, like a shaman? Well, it's going to happen.
It is kind of a miracle what's happened, though.
But it is.
Yeah.
I acknowledge it. Like, what?
But I also, I don't know enough, so maybe I'm speaking out of turn here. I don't want to be critical of his recovery because I believe everything that's happening.
Yeah.
But also, we're talking about people that have access to way more than the common person can have. And that doesn't mean, all the other athletes do too. But it is pretty amazing if he does play again this year. I think that's really risky, especially where the Jets are going to be likely.
He had a speed bridge procedure. The speed bridge does not guarantee a quicker return. It is designed to enhance the strength of the repair and guard it against stretching.
Ooh.
That's not great. At some point, are we going to have a conspiracy theory that he never actually tore the Achilles?
Sure looked like he did.
And was trying and is doing all this to try to push all of his stuff.
But I mean, right now with technology, how long is an ACL tear? How long does that keep you out?
6 months.
And then like 10 years ago, it was like,
yeah,
a year, but 18 months until you're
and maybe your career was over.
Yeah.
Well, the early in our lifetimes, if you tore your rotator cuff, your career was over. Also, I seem to remember like I can't really remember the early to mid 80s, but maybe older people would know. I'm half sure that if you tore your ACL, like your career was also pretty much over, or like you were out for like years, or you were never the same. Mm-hmm. Here's my thing. Like, for example, if Chris Webber got microfracture surgery or Amari Stoudemire got microfracture surgery today, like, is that advanced? Because remember, they were like never the same after that. Like both of them were never the same.
I don't even remember hearing that lately.
I haven't heard microfracture surgery probably since Chris Webber. But so what is the medical? We need Pete Youngman on. What is the medical equivalent of microfracture surgery?
Maybe it's just a different name, and we don't even know it's the same thing anymore. But it's so advanced. I don't know.
I know. You know this. About a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, they went into my wife's knee and took a sample of her cartilage. And then they sent it to Denver, and they grew it over the next few months until they had all this cartilage grown that was my wife's actual cartilage. And then they went into this full knee reconstruction with her own cartilage. And like her other knee hurts now more than the one that was repaired. Not that it's perfect, but just like, dude, they grew her cartilage in a stinking test tube or whatever, and then slapped it on top of her knee, which is kind of gross. Smelled weird too, by the way.
You did smell.
I smelled the cartilage. But look, as a sports fan, I am super rooting for Aaron Rodgers to come back and what this guy say, he soaked his feet in the ocean while dolphins were mating. I don't care what it is.
Yeah, his ancestors' fingers, thousands of fingers touched his face.
Yeah, dude. Let's go. Whatever he did, man. Just bathed in mushroom juice. I don't know. Let's go. Let's make it happen. I get the feeling, Jason, like you don't like the idea of him coming back this year.
I don't. If it's to do it to prove a point, I guess is what I don't like. Like, hey, look, I told you I'd be back. I'm back. Well, that's cool. I'm not doubting his recovery or the return. That's impressive. Everything he's doing is impressive. But what's the net gain? I think I'm going back to the beginning of the season. They thought they had a Super Bowl team. I don't think they do. They certainly had a better chance with Aaron Rodgers.
Sure.
But if he's coming back in week 17 or 18, what's the point? Like, get all the way back. And if you want to play, still play next year.
So we're in week 12 right now? 13. And he says trying to come back. What did you say? Week?
I just said if he's trying for the 17th or 18th week. I mean, if he's cleared, I don't know how soon he can actually play.
I think we said the Commanders on New Year's or on Christmas Eve is the one he was.
So that's probably week 17. They would have 2 games left.
13, 14, 15. Yeah, that's week 16.
Okay.
They would have 3 left. They have the Commanders, the Browns, and the Patriots. And between now and then, they have the Falcons, Texans, and Dolphins. Like, I feel like at a minimum, they have to win 2 of those 3 for it to make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because they are only 2 games out of the wild card, weirdly enough. I don't know what the tiebreaker situation is, but record-wise, they're 2 games out. I think he wants to come back to prove a point.
I do too. And I think that's the wrong way to do it. Now, again, you could be cleared, and then maybe the Jets say, hey, it's still an investment from them. How good are the Jets going to feel about that? Like, let's do it. Let's play him in week 16, 17, or 18, knowing that, hey, that's still our franchise quarterback for now, and that's short-lived, especially at his age. But we have plans of starting him next year. We kind of developed some things this year. Next year is going to be our year. I think you risk that.
Let me ask you this, though. I think the more pertinent question is, if Aaron Rodgers is cleared and wants to come back on the 24th, are the Jets going to tell him no?
That's a great point.
I mean, really, do they have the stones?
Sometimes you have to protect yourself from yourself, right? Like someone, unless, I mean, look, there's medical people way more educated and advanced on this than me. Like, if he gets all the get-go, I'm always for it. Like, do it. You got the clearance. I just think there's a lot of risk there. And it's different than, hey, anybody could get hurt at any time. I get that in the sport, but timeline's pretty fast here.
You know what I say to Aaron if he doesn't? I'm Woody. Well, first off, if I'm Woody Johnson, I'm a horrible person. But if I am Woody Johnson and I'm talking to Aaron Rodgers, he says, yeah, I want to come back. I say, you know what, Aaron? I respect that. I appreciate that. I've drawn up this waiver. Okay. If you can come back, but if you get hurt again, we're not paying you until you're healthy again. And if you don't, we'll pay you.
Right.
And if you're willing to take that risk with us, of course we want you to come back. But we just can't take that risk. We don't want to play you. There's no point in it. But I do think you're right. I think your instinct is correct. I think Aaron Rodgers wants to prove a point. So we'll take a break. When we come back, a little bit of basketball, by the way. Pacers Heat tonight, Lakers Thunder, Clippers Warriors. I'm very curious to watch it. I'm going to watch this Clippers Warriors game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very curious to see how also Gary Payton out. He's got the calf issue. It looks like he's going to miss some time. And Chris Paul, both of them were hurting and eventually not playing in the Kings game as well. We didn't really talk that much either about did Chris Paul not playing also affect the turnout of that game as well.
Mm-hmm.
But
for sure,
we'll cross-talk with Mr. Styles and Mr. Watkins. We'll do celebrity birthdays and more. Don't go away. We wrap up the show next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Red Hawk Resort Casino is an entertainment experience like no other. We're the only place where you can play blackjack, then hop on an indoor car track. We're the only place with more than 2,000 of the hottest slots and a state-of-the-art 18-lane bowling center. And now with a world-class sports bar and a resort hotel to stay after you play. Is it any wonder we've been voted best over 100 times? We're Red Hawk Resort Casino, official casino partner of the Sacramento Kings.
The Rolling Stones, live. Stones Tour 24, Hackney Diamonds. Sponsored by AARP. July 17th, Levi Stadium. The Rolling Stones. The greatest rock and roll band in the world. Tickets on sale Friday, December 1st at 10 a.m. at rollingstones.com. Your chance to see the Stones.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? Because no two people sleep the same. Only the Sleep Number smart bed lets you each choose your individual firmness and comfort, your Sleep Number setting. The Climate 360 smart bed is so smart, it actively cools or warms up to 13 degrees on either side for your ideal sleep temperature. Now, during our Cyber Week sale, the all-new Queen Sleep Number C2 smart bed is only $880, the lowest price ever. Plus free home delivery when you add a base. Ends Monday. Prices higher in Alaska and Hawaii. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
This is Jeff Scott. Did you know there's a way to outsmart COVID if you get it? Now, there are medicines that can treat COVID whether or not you've been vaccinated, which is great news, especially if you're over 50. If taken in the first 5 days of having symptoms, COVID medicines can help stop the illness from getting serious. Call a healthcare provider or the statewide COVID hotline at 833-422-4255 to learn more about COVID medicines. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
As we come together to celebrate the end of this long, long year, Stockton Honda has savings to bring us all cheer.
year. Happy Honda Day savings and selection galore. Stockton Honda's online express purchase and great people give you more.
Save on 400 new Hondas at Stockton Honda during Happy Honda Days. Shop in person or online with our express purchase option.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com. Hey, it's Carmichael Dave asking you, are you feeling the pain of paying more and more for your gas? PG&E has increased their rates 4 times in the last 5 years, and the new forecast says PG&E customers may see their bills increase 32% by 2026. The good thing is there are steps you can take to protect yourself from these rate hikes, and better yet, American Energy may be able to help you completely eliminate your gas bill with a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. Did you know SMUD offers huge rebates to eliminate your old gas guzzler? They can help you guide through the whole process. Seriously, listen to me. You go to the SMUD website. There's tons of rebates available, but it is confusing on how to do it. Listen to these rebates. $2,500 from American Energy, $3,500 from SMUD, $1,000 from Caltech, $2,000 home system upgrades. That's $9,000 in rebates. Let American Energy help you out at 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things.
And now,
here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
All right, hey. I like that. That was better than the game last night.
Oh,
Way
yes.
better.
What game?
You're getting called out by your guy in the Bay Area that hates me.
Who is
Saw him
that?
on his videos.
Oh, Bonte.
well,
Yeah, no, I fed back one to him, and you know, it is what it is. They're chin up over there, you know. Just slide your feet on defense. You guys foul too much.
It was a bad day yesterday for Bay Area radio. For I know. I mean, I get competition and all that, but some legends.
Oh yes, yeah,
including our old friend FP Santangelo, as a matter of fact. So thoughts with them as well. Yes, sir, Jason. Oh, I'm sorry. You were, when you've done a show long enough, there's chemistry things.
Yeah.
You had the look of I'm going to read something. Those
I'm
are the
just gonna
birthdays.
say
Celebrity
it's a birthday. It's a good batch.
Oh, it is a good batch.
Yeah, it's a good batch.
Before we get to birthdays, quickly, I was just going to say, Kings fans that are also Niner fans are in a position for a nice weekend here.
Yeah.
And if the Niners don't get it done, okay. Bay Area, Niners don't get it done. That's a rough week.
Yeah, it's very true.
That's a rough week for them.
Well, what if it turns out that, like, the Kings lost to, let's say the Warriors, I think they have 2 more games this week. Well, what if they win those next 2?
Doesn't matter.
No? Because they lost to the Kings?
Yes. I'm still getting.
I thought it was a rivalry.
I got hit up. I woke up this morning and somebody said, you were talking a lot a couple days ago. Nothing to say when the Kings lost last night. I said, I talked about the game. What would you like me to say?
4 hours, friend.
What would you like me to say? So, hey, shout out the Niners. Let's see what happens.
I had a new one. I had a guy, I had a Warrior fan who was going back and forth, and, it wasn't crazy or anything like that. And then he's like, I'll see you and your son at school. I was like, what?
Whoa, that's a little weird.
What? And I won't go into detail, but he knew the school. So, no, swear to God.
Feels problematic.
Dang. Little bit, and I wanted to respond and be like, yes, you will actually now you actually will see, like, I got a little worked up. And I'm like, maybe I'll just leave that one alone. But the point is, guys,
Contact some authorities there.
let's just all calm down and have a pudding.
Well, the thing on Twitter is when people start to respond like that, you're like, you said that all Warriors fans are like that. I'm not like that. I'm not like that at all. It's like, we said Warriors fans.
Right.
And if we're not If that's not you, we're
then
not
it's
talking about you.
Yeah, you're telling on yourself. If it's not you, it's not you.
Yeah, hit dog or holler.
And by the way, yes, an insecurity is allowed. That was your guy that said that. Draymond said that.
Right.
And I said your guy. I didn't.
Backpack.
And then oh Christ, I forgot it. But anyways, all right.
You just
Good
you
point.
take a breath.
Yeah,
Take a
yeah.
breath.
Well,
We'll be all right.
you know,
I'll see you at school.
right? Like, okay.
Meet me at recess.
All right, let's go. He comes up. He's like, "What's your payday, Bart?" What if it's like totally normal to me?
What if it's your son's coach?
First thing I'm gonna say is be like, "Listen, dude, you need to have these practices on time, brother." Brother, why'd I do that? Today is National Moose Day. Not with the horns. I'm talking about the chocolate.
Oh.
The chocolate mousse. I'll start. I'm actually kind of a quietly big moose fan. I like a moose.
You're a supporting actor, right? You don't just find moose. You don't just eat moose.
That's what I'm saying. I haven't had moose in a long time, but like if somebody they serve those little cocktail glasses, you got moose and a little whipped cream on top. I'm going. This is a fine dessert. I'm looking forward to it.
Sure.
It's not like the little round white mother's cookies. It's not just like, oh, here it is. I'll also go a step further and send your emails to Alan. I don't like tiramisu. I said it. I'm not a tiramisu guy.
How did we get here?
That was absolutely insane.
Today is stay home because you're well day. That's probably something important that I'm not going to make fun of. National Meth Awareness Day.
Meth awareness?
It's National Meth Awareness Day.
Oh, I'm sorry, math.
and the photo they have for it is the back of Heisenberg's RV from Breaking Bad. I'm not making this up, dude. That's literally the RV from Breaking Bad.
That is a good reminder that was a good show.
It was a wonderful show, and I'm super aware of meth. I'm just saying, like, they did their job. I know it exists. Today is National Personal Space Day. And National Mississippi Day. See what I did? I moved away like this. I was doing it.
You should have told the good.
I was doing physical comedy.
MISSI.
That is absolutely correct. That is absolutely correct.
Right.
Raise your hand if you've been to Mississippi.
I've driven through it.
No thanks.
So are we counting that?
Okay. My rule
I thought it was a meal or a night's sleep or something.
My rule for having been in a state is always like you have to have spent at least a few minutes, if not hours, outside of the airport.
Yeah, not a landing. Hey, a landing.
Right,
once.
that doesn't count.
No.
You're still within the confines of the thingy. But I feel like driving through because I'm sure I took a leak there. I probably had something to eat. Went and got a snack. So I went to Mississippi.
You've marked your territory.
I have literally marked my territory. By the way, nothing like the movies where I feel like everything looks like Crossroads and there's gonna be like Robert Johnson music and like super cool
tumbleweed.
Yes, nothing like that at all. It was quite boring. Jason Ross, birthdays are friends. Nothing brings family and friends together better than crumble cookies.
Good job, Dave.
That's what I'm talking about on National Mississippi Day.
Hey, happy birthday first and foremost to Simone.
Hey,
It's Simone's birthday today. We don't have to guess her age, but we can.
Happy birthday.
31.
Yeah, that's about right. I would say 31, 32, 33, somewhere in there.
I'm not doing it.
No, Chris?
No.
Why not?
She
That's
bored
not
us
what you said
way too
off
much.
air. You said she was 35, which I thought was actually.
No, I said she looks 30.
Way off.
Happy birthday, Simone.
Happy birthday, Bo.
Bridges.
Ooh, Knicks.
Wait, I heard a lot in there.
Jackson, Bridges, Nicks. Stevie's brother.
The correct answer is Bo Jackson. How old is Bo today? Bo knows what age.
I read that book back in the day. I was 10 years old. Bo Knows Bo. Great book.
Great book.
Great book.
Superstar. Incredible.
63.
64. Ever tell you my Bo Jackson story? It's not really a story. It's just I saw him at a golf tournament, tried to take a picture with him. He said he only takes pictures. He shook my hand, looked me in the eyes, was super sweet about it. He said, yeah, I don't take pictures on camera phones. They'll just end up everywhere. If you ever have he'll take pictures with you if you have like a Canon camera. But like he doesn't like people posting it and then they know where he is instantly. But in his mind, if you have an actual click camera,
Takes some more time.
it'll take a little bit of time and it's a lot harder to post online. Like, I've never
remember that if you want to meet Bo Jackson.
You know what I said to him? I said, yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So honor to meet you, sir. And walked away.
Quick picture.
Little quick selfie. He's like,
he's 61.
60.
We have a correct answer. And the guy who read his book would know. Alan Stiles, right on the money, 61. Happy birthday, Ben.
Still
Affleck.
Ben
Roethlisberger.
Oh.
Ben Franklin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alan's on fire. He got Bo Jackson's age, and it's Ben Stiller's birthday.
Wow.
How old is Ben Stiller today?
That's a tough one.
It's a big one for him, actually.
Is it?
It is. Well, we go back with the Stillers.
You're right. They were in
Jerry
studio a couple
Stiller,
times.
My dad were good friends. Big one for Ben today. He is 60. Yeah.
Love dodgeball.
Love that.
You're way off, though.
Reed
He's
Gooder.
58.
62.
57.
We're continuing on a heater. Exactly right. Alan Stiles, 58.
Are we, hold on, real quick. How many more of these does it take to get into suspicion zone? We're not there yet.
No,
right?
but we're
like,
getting
I can
close.
see the
I see
zone
the
in the
door.
corner.
Yeah.
Right, I see the door.
We're closing in.
Not walking in. I mean,
Yeah.
Alan seems like a very
But
ethical
guessing
person.
the name is pretty
Right.
good.
Did you guys
Bonkers.
Yeah.
Great movie.
All right, let's see. Let's test this out a little bit here. Let's go with happy birthday, Billy.
Eilish.
Thornton.
Eilish?
Yeah. Bob Thornton.
Eilish.
Ocean.
Ooh, I hope you're right.
Happy birthday, Billy Idol.
So close.
How old is Billy Idol today?
I know he looks older than he probably is. Bill is Bill Idol now. He's 70. Yeah, Moni.
They're probably 68.
74.
William Idol is 67.
We have a correct answer.
No. No way. Come on. You're kidding me.
He's gotten all three right on.
I've got my
And
hand
two of the
on
three
the
names.
knob. Hold on
we
a
got
second.
it.
I have my hand on the doorknob of the
Do we
zone.
test this?
Damn it. Yes, please.
You want to push your luck?
Sure.
Oh, press your luck.
All right.
No whammy.
Oh, gosh. Which one do I go with? All right. Happy birthday, Woody.
Harrelson.
Idol.
From Toy Story.
It's Woody Allen. How was Woody Allen?
Chris, you got any?
I think we all know what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I just want to see if Allen can guess it right.
Yeah, go ahead. Alan.
There's no. I have no.
All right, 80.
Not how you want to win.
82.
I think you're trying to throw me off here. I've been riding around.
30.
Yeah. I don't know. It's not going to be right.
This is important for you to have a guess.
70.
Now he's throwing it.
Yeah, now he's point shaving.
78.
I'm actually pretty confident he's in it.
82.
He is 80.
Oh,
Oh, God, he's old.
Goodness.
Too old.
Can't wait.
All right, for everyone, thank you so much. I'm Dave. That's Jason. That is Chris. Stiles and Watkins next. They're going to try to entertain you over 4 hours talking about a game where no one showed up. I'm sure there will be opinions.
Someone did.
Someone did. One guy did. We'll be right back with them right after.
De'Aaron Fox.